Karsa. KKWX. Karsa's my name. KKWX is my empire. Here today we are going to play some Delta Green, The Faults of Man, with Cormac taking the GM slot. Let's get to it.
Alright, so last time we were out here, you guys were roaming about the ship, trying to figure out if you guys could get it to work, all this other stuff, roaming about, looking for stuff, searching it,
Looking for people.
Yeah, well, looking for a person. Now we're up to looking for people.
We had several hallucinations, some violence and angry words were exchanged, and we learned we lost like 4 hours somehow.
Oh yes, there were some hallucinations. E-Mask almost shot Keiran. Not really, but everybody thinks it.
He's fine.
I mean, he is.
Hey, the whole thing is, right, the infantryman gets killed for 10,000 poorly placed rounds. The sniper is killed for 1. Last I checked, this mofo has an LMG. He ain't aiming.
Yeah, that's why he missed.
Yeah.
Now, along with that, one of the other crew members went missing. And as far as you guys know, it's because another member of the security team fell asleep. Near the end of the session, you guys became aware.
The pie.
At the end of it, you guys had become aware that 3 more people had gone missing. In that group is the paranoid guy that had been found wandering the bottom of the Will to Power, saying something had been crawling along the side, and eventually decided that he wanted nothing to do with Dr. Megan and Dr. Chen.
Well, he's now missing. He's now missing.
Yes, along with the other 2 members of the group he was with.
Oh no, I can't remember his name, but I remember you shouldn't shorten it. He doesn't like that.
It doesn't matter anymore.
You don't even have a name tag. Do you really think you stand a chance?
No, this guy did have a name.
He did have a name for a short time.
I mean, he still has a name. Being dead doesn't mean you don't have a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, you typically get called John or Jane Doe if nobody knows who you are.
Well, Dr. Payne is still, I mean, she would still help him, but he refused it, so, oh well. Although Dr. Payne is in a lot of pain. 4 hit points to her name.
It's Dr. Payne in Pain to the Max. She got pain in the butt.
She's been literally, I think she's been under 4 for most of the time we've been playing.
You're right. I think it has been the majority of times. It's been like 3 of 5 sessions, right?
Yeah, she's been either 1 or 2 or 4 hit points. I haven't seen the 5 hit points since we started.
I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't have gotten shot and then shoot up like by a zombie.
My first mistake was actually
like
acting like I was a military combat and going out and helping people. Is that it?
I mean, combat's scary. It's how you get hurt.
Yeah,
He's
an old man. He's been around for a long time.
Yeah, beware the old person in the profession where people are known to die young.
No shit, Sherlock. But yeah, I mean, her skills and her skills are good, but and her sanity's at 67, by the way. Willpower
not the nice number.
Is at 6 out of 15. she's probably going to be the first one to die.
Really?
Maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not believe you.
Oh, let's go. My sanity is the nice number. Hell yeah. I got 69 sanity.
Damn.
Mine is 50.
Garrett, you can't make me lose any more sanity.
Okay.
Sure I can. If it goes down, it's your fault. You're the one that rolled bad.
All right, I can accept that. You can't make me lose any on a success. That's cheating.
I mean, it's not.
Anyway. Yeah, so Dr. Payne is definitely in pain and losing the will to live.
Wait.
But not the will to power.
But no, not the will to power. Not yet.
Yeah, because what the power is just there. I mean, if you lose
Yeah, it'll be
that,
really hard to lose it at this point.
I mean, it's not exactly inconsequential. It's not a set of car keys.
I know.
It would be
I
really
know.
bad if we lost it, though. That'd be really impressive if we lost an entire ship.
I mean, we did lose an entire day, pretty much.
No, we
Oh,
lost
that's
4 hours.
nothing. But
I mean, that was just like a light nap.
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway,
Experimenting with the fabric of reality, sleeping without a timer.
Exactly. You know, don't think about it. I'll be fine.
if were we at the end of the day for that day?
We were told to go back to the will to power
Yeah, I think we were at
because
shift
we were.
Oh yeah, fucking time shit happened. Cause we thought it was still noon, but when we called back in, it was like late evening, and they're like, "Yo, we're about to send people to go find your asses."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, am I gonna have an opportunity to try to get more hit points before the next day?
Yeah. But also, if you guys remember, there is currently an argument happening between
Russ,
Chief
right?
Nawali and Ross Hendricks. Because Ross Hendricks does not give a fuck about anybody. He wants people on that ship looking, searching, going through it, trying to get it, basically do the damn job.
No-
And while
Notably, he wants people on the ship to repair it, not to find the missing people. Correct?
I mean, you can do both.
Fair enough. But pointedly, he just wants people on the ship, whereas Nawali just wants to. He wants very small numbers of people on the ship at a time at the moment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically,
Yeah,
doing it in like
he-
shifts and teams.
Yeah, he wants
Yeah.
to do things in a controlled manner, where Ross is like, "Oh my god, let's do the thing. Do all
Let's just
the
get
thing."
it done.
Yeah.
This is, the big thing for us, for Hendricks' argument is, I told you this was going to be dangerous. It's in the contract. There's a whole reason why your payment, if this succeeds, goes to your next of kin. That's why it was written in there. I know what I'm doing. And I was like, yeah, I don't think you do. Because if we all die, then you don't get what you want. And you hired me to get this done in the most direct, safest way possible. And in the most efficient way possible. Which means it gets done my way, not yours. And then the argument basically continues back and forth like that. Ad nauseum. Very, very circular argument.
Fair enough. Don't mind me as I'm refamiliarize myself with my character sheet and see if I could tangibly impact this argument.
I definitely can't. I can't. So it's all you.
I mean, anybody can walk up and start talking.
Fair. But in terms of the argument though, like I will also side with Nawali, where it's like the more people we lose, the slower the job will be done regardless. It is to our better benefit to minimize losses while trying to find the people who've gone missing.
I mean, look, I know this is going to sound crass. I know this is going to sound cold-hearted. we really need to actually look for him if we're going to search the entire ship anyway?
Considering we just lost several hours of time on our own for what felt like, an hour at best? I'd say probably be a good idea to at least try to find them.
Kieran's gonna shrug, but,
5.
like, the several
Specifically.
hours we were into stuff.
Oh, specifically, you 5 lost time. And I can't be sure that that's not because you all decided to get high on the deck of the ship.
Considering my cigarettes are confiscated,
What
what would I be getting high with?
He's actually
Looks
going to
at Dr. Bacon.
Is it Rich guy that's saying that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to gesture, like, to be fair, we don't know what kind of environmental bullshit might be going on that ship. That might actually explain it.
It could be like a chemical thing. Fair enough, I suppose.
I mean, I did warn you about needing possibly hazmat suits.
No. You don't need hazmat. What chemical would be on there?
I don't know. I'm not the scientist on board.
Don't know.
But in any case, it is strange that on what is supposed to be an abandoned cruise liner, people are somehow going missing. That in its own right is strange.
Is it though? Is it? Because from what I was told, one of the groups that went missing has somebody who he pulls out like the equivalent of a tablet. Well, not equivalent. He pulls out a tablet, looks through it. Has reported to have had mental instability and psychological issues.
That's one person. It's not It's not an entire team's worth of people.
No, but one person with psychological issues could, in fact, take an entire team out.
Who was that? And this is totally not me trying to get the GM to remember the NPC's name.
Theodore. It's on the NPC list.
Theodore, that's it,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was the guy who was looking for the whale, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Well, I would hazard, chances are the best place to possibly find him might be the, try checking the lowest point in the ship.
Oh.
That's where he was here.
Hey, true.
Yeah,
Well,
not about the keel. You
You
know what I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah, while that would make sense, I'm still going to keep to the plan of searching top to bottom, because if he looks over at Russ Hendricks, this man is dangerous. I would rather we have a controlled environment to find him, not start at the bottom and have him have a lot of decks of space to deal with.
I also
Also-
think it just makes more sense to search in an area and spread out rather than just kind of like picking random places on the ship to watch out for, because like we don't want him to accidentally sneak into a place we've already searched before.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that ship is huge, and we don't have enough people to keep that from happening. The best we can do is note down specific areas and try to hopefully see if somebody's gone through there by leaving wires or paint or something. I don't know. That is a lot of ground to cover, and I only have, looks over, 10 guys to do it with.
Fair enough. I mean, while it is unfortunate to think about, if we don't find him in the next couple of days, he will most likely die from starvation. Well, dehydration would come before starvation. But that one canteen isn't going to go super far.
I'm at dehydration's less of an issue. There's the water on that ship is still good.
Fair enough,
Food,
so
not so
probably
much.
Starvation then. Yeah, so it probably wouldn't be starvation in like a week or so.
Alright. Most likely scenario is if it is him going insane, in his adult brain, he is probably going to fall through a deck and get impaled on something.
True. But hopefully we're able to find him and figure out why exactly he went missing in the first place, and well, not just him, but the rest of the people who have gone missing as well. Because there's 4, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, well, if we find him, then we'll probably figure out what happened to the other two with him. The radio operator who went missing. That's going to be a bigger mystery. Just because he completely went missing without another person who was only 20 feet away waking up.
Yeah.
And Ross is like, and we're back to people taking drugs.
To be fair, I wouldn't be able to be on this
He's
expedition.
not talking about those drugs.
They're not talking about that. We're not talking about your painkillers. But
Wait, you're
In
whacked on
any case-
painkillers?
I've been on painkillers.
she got heavily injured
I've
during
been
the
injured for
fight with
weeks
when the
now.
attacker ship got attacked.
I thought that was a fashion statement.
No,
You're just heavily into cosplaying.
no.
Huh.
Okay, I'm now
To
legitimately.
be fair, I can't blame for that assumption as Grover goes at KK.
KK
I'm
seems
just
to be
completely
asleep.
picturing. Yeah, I'm just completely picturing like everyone is dressed normally, and then you get to Dr. Payne, who just looks like she's been dragged through a hedge backwards and thrown in a wood chipper.
But since I am the second highest and Dr. Chen is not going to join in, I'm here.
I'm pretty sure with the amount of painkillers around, you're the first highest.
You're right. You're right. But I've been trying to keep as the best I could. Best I can.
We had a sixth NPC with us. Who was that?
Dr. Boucher, she's around.
Okay, fair enough. Was she also part of medical
No, engineering.
engineering? Okay.
Not medical doctor, engineering doctorate.
Yeah. The other kind of doctor.
The welcome to English and why it sucks, doctor.
I think you're looking about doctoral letters there.
The argument on how to proceed aside, was there anything else that you wanted to know about our shift, Officer Nawali?
Yeah, it's anything that was weird, out of place, went wrong.
Aside from the missed time, that somehow made us lose track of literal hours. What we were talking about before we all congregated is that around the same time period, we all saw vivid hallucinations. We're not sure why.
In drastically different parts of the ship.
Also true. Myself and KK, accompanied by Dr. Boucher, you said?
Yep.
Boucher? Accompanied by Dr. Boucher, were fixing the boilers. Meanwhile, Keiran, Max, and... Don't tell me. I'll get there. I'll get there. Don't tell
You
me.
have a handy little list.
Profession.
I mean, I'm always in pain.
Payne, yeah. And Payne.
We literally spent like half an hour making that joke.
You're right. And Dr. Payne were on the second deck of the ship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So about as far away from one another as we could be without being on literal opposite ends of the
We
ship.
were in the galley.
No, you weren't. You
But-
were on deck 3.
And
You were in the entertainment section, which happened to have its own
Entertainment
restaurants
section.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
and we all had vivid hallucinations within a few minutes of each other. After we finished giving you this debriefing, I was planning on having us all go to the medical ward to have Dr. Shen make sure nothing's wrong with us on the medical front.
Yeah, in case it is some kind of environmental thing. At least then people will be aware.
Well, the Wally goes opens his mouth and Hendrix pipes up. Well, nobody else is talking about hallucinations or having any of that, so it probably can't be a shipwide chemical. Otherwise, it would be more than just you people who are affected.
In theory, yeah. But we all know
Yeah,
what theory did.
I mean, that tracks, but it's like, I have no idea what could be causing it.
I do. Drugs.
Gee, a hell of a drugs. I don't remember taking it.
I mean, I don't.
And
expect
aside from the hallucination, it hasn't impaired our judgment in any other fashion. We were still able to work on the boilers, for instance. Whereas if I was high off my rocker, I wouldn't have the anti-coordination to do that.
I don't know what fucking shit's out there on the field. I don't take any of it.
But my point is, like, surely even you can agree that this is strange. It's bizarre.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
But
Yeah,
aside from that, the repairs on the boilers are coming along well. It should be done in the near future. And the other team will have to debrief you on what they found or didn't find.
Well, yeah, that already happened. They didn't find much. They found some luggage, but you expected that. It's past the liner after all. Fortunately, they ran out of time before they could get to the officer's quarters. Actually, speaking of, that's where you guys will be going to tomorrow. Well, those of you that are searching that.
All right. In that case, if there's nothing else, may we have permission to leave?
Yeah, dismissed.
All right. And then
You guys get maybe 50 feet away before they start arguing again.
and honestly, I cannot force the rest of you to accompany me, but Grover will head to medical to get an examination from Dr. Chen.
I'm going to head to medical because I'm still having to stay there for the nights. 'Cause
Yup,
I'm
as long as you're under half.
5.
As long as you're under half.
Yeah.
Did Dr. Chen ever turn up again? Because, like, weren't they also a character that was kind of AWOL?
I mean, you go to medical, there they are.
They go missing when shit starts hitting the fan, it seems. So they're gone during the zombie attack, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
But aside from that, they've been pretty present for the most part.
The one who, quote unquote, travels the most and is never where you expect them to be is Ross.
Yeah. Yeah, upon walking in, Grover will call to Dr. Shen. Hey, Dr. Shen, do you mind doing an examination on myself and the other members of my team?
Okay, so who's actually going to medical?
Maxwell.
I'm already going.
Here, you got a little lost. Was that a yes or no?
Yeah, I'll go.
Alright. Oh. Yes, I suppose. I heard a little bit about what happened, missing kind of hallucinations. Did that about cover it? Was there anything else?
That's the main things, yeah.
Okay,
But-
well, we're good.
The main peculiarity is just how closely together they all happened at once for us. It seems to be connected, but I'm not sure how it would be. Want to get a medical opinion on it?
Yes, this is weird. Well, mass hallucinations aren't uncommon in certain areas, but the hallucinations are rarely the same. Well, yours weren't the same, so that was correct. The loss of time is a little off, although not uncommon in stressful situations.
It's when it happens to a group that becomes something that really needs to be questioned.
I didn't know you were a medical doctor.
I'm not. But I have
And-
seen a lot of shit.
Okay, and that is your job.
But,
Mine is.
Yeah,
determining-
seriously, dude, we don't need to hear about your kinks. Okay? And I'll pat Ski Max on the shoulder. It's alright, we don't need to know about your kinks.
As far as this particular thing goes, all of you are going to be here for a while. I am going to have to perform a CT scan and do a blood draw on all of you. Although the blood draw will be the fast thing.
Okay.
Very well.
No problem.
We're gonna be here for a while. Let's get started.
Okay.
I'm alright getting shoved in a scary machine of doom.
Oh,
Doom.
I have.
I will
Mr.
also
Henderson.
immediately do the sensible thing on removing anything metallic because I know what CT machine does.
Mhm.
You start doing that. Oh no, that's not necessary. Mr. Ross was or Mr. Hendricks was very kind enough to bring in a newer version of the machine, one that fits much better on this ship. If you look, you don't see a scan machine because that would be absurd because they're huge.
They really are.
Well, yeah, they're huge, but they're not impossible to fit in a ship. Especially
not.
if you don't have theoretically infinite money to throw at a problem.
But the theoretical infinite money, which is why it's like we have a much smaller version that doesn't rely on magnets, as that is an MRI, not a CT scan. As in a magnetic resonance image. Well, they both work on magnets. I'm not sure. Anyway, he's like, much smaller version, doesn't use magnets. Less accurate, but it's better for our purposes.
Oh wait a minute, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I love getting brain cancer. Yay.
Oh,
With
much less radiation.
X-ray.
Oh, no. Much less radiation now. I call it a CT scan just so people don't understand what it is. It works differently, but different path to the same point. Anyway.
Okay, we can time skip the fact that the next 4 hours is Keiran asking what the fuck he's on about, because that's just not how X-rays work.
Again, he straight up said he called it that just so you understood the point you're trying to get to. That is not how this particular thing works. As I do not care, we're using bleeding edge tech. He puts a little cap on you and waves a wand over, and you get basically the same 3D imaging in a different manner. And I do not care. Fuck you, Wikipedia.
Okay, so I don't have to sit there with the lead weight over the balls. However, I've probably now got mutation that means my eyeballs are going to explode in a week. Cool.
No, I mean, it is a little uncomfortable. There is a little bit of pressure behind the eyes after a while, but I mean, nothing else.
Well, yeah, because you just use these Lovecraftian technology to shove something in behind my brain.
Sure, you're free to make whatever assumptions you want, as I love to tell Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it takes a couple hours, as like the blood draws happen in like blink of an eye, 10 minutes.
Now, does he
And then
have me help with it, or does he?
Fuck no, you're a patient.
I'm a
Yeah,
Yeah,
patient.
you don't get to do stuff.
I don't get to work. Okay, cool. I'll sleep.
Oh no, you don't get to sleep.
Oh no,
You
she's
should be
got
awake.
head trauma and she wants to go to sleep.
What has
Well,
to do with the head trauma?
R.I.P. Dr. Payne.
No, as he's explaining. Oh no. I can't have you sleep. It changes the different waveforms of your brain and how they interact with everything, and what part of your brain is engaged at the time, and I need you to stay awake, so the awake part of your brain stays engaged.
All right, fine.
Yeah, a couple hours later. He'd be like, I'll have the results in the morning. Now you can go to sleep.
Good night. Crashes on the bed.
The entire group standing there looking outside the door at the bedroom door that says Dr. Payne. You know, Dr. Payne personal quarters. Like, she couldn't even make it 5 feet.
Well, she's not allowed to leave the medical bay at the moment.
Ah, that's immaterial.
Anyway, we go to the next day. You guys get up to medical. Well, Dr. Chen pages all of you to medical. So, got the results of your scan, looked them over myself. Spent all night doing it. Do love Ecuadorian coffee. And haven't found anything wrong. At least I'd like to tell. Race anything normal. I mean, normal for each one of your ages. And like, it'll put up the scans of each one. It's just like, well, see here, the Abdullah Avlagata here on Max is a little enlarged. Explains the aggression. That's normal. Ish. Within deviations.
Mhm.
Acceptable deviations.
Oh god, acceptable deviations. That means they've got to flip out the measuring tongs and start telling you about your interest based on your skull shape.
Oh no, phrenology. Ooh, no. No.
Even
Phrenology
though
is
I went to
complete
sleep,
hogwash.
am I still exhausted?
Oh no, yeah,
Exhausted
your exhaustion go away. But I do need you to go ahead and roll 2d6.
Oh no.
These have been going so well for you so far.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, you already rolled the first one, so I'll just take whatever the first d6 is before I click on it. But the boxcars, so go ahead and regain 6 willpower.
Yay!
And go ahead and roll your constitution. Let's see if you get any health back.
Oh, true. I get to do that too, right?
That's
Yeah.
1d6, I think.
No, it's just you rolling constitution.
Rolling Constitution, that's right.
Let's go! We won the race! We're back to full health.
Ah, Dr. Payne, roll a d4.
Success! Yes.
Roll a d4. Let's see if you get a 1.
I'm
3, you recover 3.
I got I'm five.
Yay, so Dr. Payne looks at you. Oh, no more painkillers for you.
Okay.
Then he pulls up Keiran's scan. You see this part of the brain, and I don't know which part of the brain is. I don't know what it's called, but this is specifically for inquisitiveness and, Also, a little odd shaped, which explains why you ask so many questions. Also, it would explain why you have a problem with authority. Well, potentially.
He's just gonna look at that and be like, "Damn, I thought you were gonna pull out the scan, put it up there, and you have a little bit marked with a red circle, and be like, you see this? This is your childhood trauma."
No.
Well.
Oh no. This doesn't give a good enough scan to show the scarage on the brains, which would indicate trauma.
Oh damn. Oh well.
If you'd like, I could put you under the water for 6 hours. Then I think I could get a better scan. Then again, your eyes.
I'm highly tempted, but I'm gonna have to pass, unfortunately, Doc. Maybe later.
I mean, that was my attempt at humor. If I put you in there for 6 hours, your eyes would melt.
Cool.
Not really very hot. That's why they would melt. We'll pull up Dr. Megan's scan. What's up?
I was gonna make a joke about that guy who has a camera in place of an eye and it glows red, so he looks like a Terminator when he's wandering around. That's a real dude, by the way.
Dr. Megan's scan. You see? And it'll pull up Grover, and then it'll go through and basically do some pseudoscience idiocy that is basically on the the same cusp as phrenology, because you can't look at somebody's brain and be like, oh, this particular lobe is bigger than the others to dictate somebody's personality. It doesn't work that way.
Right, you're having doubts about our ship doctor.
Okay.
I mean, in theory, it could, but
That's a
not
little
the way
bit.
he's describing it. I do think in the real world there are studies that are like people that have certain lobes that are larger, which makes other ones smaller, do tend to have certain personality traits over other people. But
I mean,
tendency is not concrete.
That makes sense considering that tumors in the brain can affect personality.
Yeah.
And when removed or shrunk down, tend to change the personality again.
Yeah, but you could also take a severe blow to the head, be in a coma for 2 weeks, and wake up and immediately know how to play the piano. That shit's happened too.
Yeah.
True.
But anyway,
Which is mental considering that whole thing that they say it takes like 10,000 hours to master a skill, and yet
Y-
people
y-
have done it
one person
from
has a
all night
stroke
in a
and suddenly they could speak Mandarin fluently.
Yeah, there is actually a case of that, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah, so like what he's going on about isn't true medical science, but it is stuff that is
It's on the very fringe.
it's fringe science. Thank you. That is the exact word I was looking for.
Yeah. Like it might be accepted in about 40 years.
But
Maybe.
Dr. Payne, could you go ahead and throw me I want to say it's medicine for diagnoses.
Sure.
Use your professional skills.
Oh, nope. All right, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Everything he's saying is completely legit. Well, legit as in when he says there's nothing wrong with these scans.
Right.
And then he'll show you the blood work things, all of your Grover, your blood pressure's a little high.
That tracks.
Your white cell count's a little high, but that's from the smoking. He will caution you. You might want to consider cutting back on the smoking. Well, never mind. You're probably gonna be dead in 10 years anyway. Oh, you, Emag, the shrapnel hasn't moved.
Alright.
Wait, is that why he
Okay.
always wears the ski mask? He can't take it off because of the head shrapnel. He's actually Big Boss.
What? No, it's in his leg. If it moves too much, it could potentially sever his femoral artery.
Hmm.
You know, I could remove that for you.
Yeah, I was going to say there, shouldn't you maybe get somebody with, steady hands, a scalpel, and a pair of tweezers? Solve that problem for you.
I mean, there's a decent chance that even if I successfully move it, he won't be able to walk right.
That's probably why
We
he
deal with the
won't
mission
do it
first,
right.
figure out the other problems later.
Yeah, at least he'll be able to pay for it afterwards.
I don't know, I mean, if he's got something sitting really close to a femoral artery, you're a medical doctor, you know that femoral artery gets nicked, you tend to die within 10 minutes. If you're
Yes.
lucky and last that long.
But also there's the fact that if he does that right now, he is out. He's done for the rest of the session we're here.
I mean,
It's not.
the piece of shrapnel's been in there for years. I don't think it's going anywhere.
At this point
Well,
in
at least-
time, he has to
At least if
decide
you fall down
quality.
dead suddenly.
He has to think about quality of life. The quality of life of him taking it out now, since it's been there for so long, will diminish considerably, and he will be in the med bay until we're done with this mission.
Alternatively, I could just remove the leg and give him prosthetic.
Yeah,
Much
you
faster
could do
recovery
that.
time.
That would be much faster, but still not a good idea.
Still would be out of the game for the rest of the mission.
Well, there's also
No.
the possibility of femoral
Negative 20 to your
embolism,
athletics, you'll be
which is
fine.
a bad idea too. Because a femoral embolism can actually get you, killed too, and that's even less time than nicking the artery.
This is tragic, because the waves are a little choppy today. I was really hoping to test my skills in this environment. Oh well. That is not a joke. He's dead serious on that.
I noticed.
And that is why that crazy guy that we're looking for doesn't trust you.
No, Theodore
God.
doesn't trust her.
Oh no, he also doesn't trust me.
Thumbs at Payne.
I mean, I'm a doctor. If anybody trusts me, they're foolish.
Oh, yeah, I mean, after all, the old statement, trust me, I'm a doctor. No one does.
Anybody who has your life in their hands, you shouldn't fully trust.
Especially not if they got butterfingers. Oh well.
Oh, do you have one? My favorite candy bar.
Unfortunately, no. I don't think they have any enemies. Tell you what, if I happen to see one, I'll bring it to you though.
Yeah, thank you. But with these slight problems with everybody's blood work. Keiran, your cholesterol's a little high. Just a little bit.
I'd try it.
In fact, Payne, your blood sugar's low for some reason. It's been low for a while.
Well, that's because I've been in pain. I should have a very low or very high white blood cell count, and my sugar is probably low because I haven't been eating a lot due to the fact I've been in pain.
You realize you need to keep your energy up if you're going to heal properly, so you should probably increase your caloric intake.
Very well, doctor.
Here, have a Cliff Bar.
Thank you.
Ugh,
Have a what?
a Cliff Bar.
The fuck's a Cliff Bar?
Is
Basically-
hopefully this Cliff Bar is of the peanut butter variety because they taste better.
What? No, chocolate chip. What's wrong with you?
They're basically granola bars that are like that have like the energy density of an entire bag of trail mix.
I mean, they claim that, but it's not true.
Okay, I'm Scottish. What the fuck is trail mix?
Okay.
Basically, Cliff Bar
I
is just
don't
like
eat
an energy
bird
protein
food.
bar.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, I did a quick Google search there. Yeah, the main thing I'm seeing your chocolate chip peanut crunch one is like a bag with a dude climbing on a mountain. So it's like, oh right, it's for idiots that try and get themselves killed every day. Cool.
Actually, the chocolate chip peanut butter crunch is the best of them.
Okay,
You're
flavor
wrong.
aside, they don't do what they're advertising. That whole diversion aside,
Yeah, we spent some time discussing dietary information with the doctor.
yeah,
Mm.
with the various NPCs weighing in on their thoughts on Cliff Bars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are given your orders to go back onto the ship. Luckily, Grover is separate from search team, so it's cool that he's BRB right now. But search team, you guys are being told that you guys are going to be searching the officers' quarters.
Okay.
That's it.
That's our
where-
only briefing.
Where about roughly are those? I'm assuming they'd be up higher on the.
Yeah, I know nothing of ship layout, so I'm just gonna say that they're also on deck 3.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Basically, decks 1 and 2 have been completely searched. Deck 3 has not.
So
The
we're
only thing left is the officers' quarter.
Right. Okay.
Because you gotta remember, as you guys go down the ship, the decks get bigger.
Yeah.
Much bigger. But so does the machinery that gets down there too.
Yeah, only in the engineering section, which is basically just the engine room. Other than that, machinery is about the same size the whole way through.
Anyway.
It's just
Yeah,
better
it's
hidden on the upper decks.
It's actually really weird, that stuff. There's a video I saw a while back that's like a really in-depth sort of tour around a 20-year-old, admittedly, cruise liner. But yeah, considering like the amount of shit that they smash into the size of a cruise liner's shell, there's a hell of a lot of it, and shockingly little in order to actually run the ship.
Alright, so you guys go, climb your way back up the ship, up all the ladders, the rope ladders, all the ropes, all that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Get up on deck 3, and make your way to the officers' quarters. Now, as far as the officers' quarters go, again, I'm not fucking maritime expert. So for the sake of this, I say the officers' quarters. There's like 5.
I am back.
There's the captain's quarters, the first mate, the radio officer, the XO, the executive officer, and there's one other guy. I don't know.
That would be the medical.
Sure.
Wait a minute, you said 5, that's 4.
Head of personnel.
No, Captain, first officer, executive officer, radio officer, medical officer.
Oh, right. Sorry, I was reading the first officer XO basically being the same thing.
No, those are definitely not the same. That I know. I think executive officer is effectively second mate.
Okay.
I mean, they could be, but for the sake of this, they're not, because this is commercial, not military. So who gives a shit?
Yeah. All right, that's fine.
All right. So which one are we starting in?
I vote XO. Or, I mean, to be fair, I vote whichever is closest to our entry point to the, like, I'm assuming corridor between them.
Then that would be the medical and communications officers.
I was thinking medical would be the first one we should go to.
They would be across the hall from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's go into the CMO's office first.
Yeah. So go into the
All right.
medical.
You go to open the door, and from behind you goes, "Hey guys, Ross Hendricks is there."
Hi. How are you, sir?
Been better.
How can we help you?
Oh no, keep doing what you're doing. I'm just, here with you guys. He does that thing where, like, you go to that fake boxer stance, get in the mix.
Okay, well, we were going to go to the medical officer area so that we could find if there was any preliminary situations that may have caused this disappearance.
I mean,
Okay.
You look for logs.
Wouldn't those records be actually in the sick bay?
depends on the situation. But I think if we're going to find corpses of anybody, we'd most likely find them in the quarters where they would have made a last stand of some description.
Actually, I was thinking
That said,
of the medical
that said, this is
officer's-
security.
I was thinking actually of the medical officer's log.
What, of their own?
Their personal
log of events?
log. Yes. Because
Ah.
it doesn't always
So you
get
want to go snooping around diaries? Got it.
Well, yes, because it doesn't always have to be official. I'm sure that if somebody wanted to snoop around and find out what I truly thought of something, and I didn't want anybody else to find out about it, I'd put it in
You'd put it in your official log.
my personal,
The official log
logs.
that would be check.
My diary. It's basically a diary. So
Right, so you're not looking for the chief medical officer's logs. You're looking
What
for
are we arguing about? Whatever we're doing, we may as well just search the room while we're here instead of arguing about what we're going to find.
oh,
What? Hey, hang on, Grover. You're not with these guys. You're down in the engine room again.
we're not arguing about it.
Oh,
To be
okay.
fair,
We're actually looking
hold on.
as we're doing this.
hold on, because I think there's a vastly important question that has been completely missed on this. How does this area look? Does
Yeah.
it look like it was barricaded and possibly had some kind of combat going on?
Like the rest of the ship, no.
It doesn't. Okay.
I mean, there's a barricade like 50 feet down the hallway, but like it's random. It's not like right in front of these guys' doors.
Hmm.
You can easily get to them by just cutting across the ship. Actually, not even cutting across the ship, cutting across the midship and going like 10 feet around it and cutting back over. Wouldn't that barricade would not stop anybody from getting to the officers' quarters.
Okay, so
Yeah.
my
It was just mainly on that question that Ski Mask has there about finding corpses and stuff. Like, we haven't found any corpses at all
I know,
Not real ones.
throughout this entire place.
but maybe the medical officer had some notes that they didn't want everybody to know about, but they had their own thoughts on it. I mean,
How very video game of you.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. You can go looking for, drop notes, maybe see if the NPCs have left you some quest markers. Yeah, we'll search the
Are you
room.
telling me you don't keep a diary?
No. Or, like,
I mean-
actually, the answer to the question would be yes.
Eh? Eh.
Because,
Uh,
yes,
technically
I
don't-
do not.
Oh,
Don't you literally record everything?
That's not diary.
Not
I'm not
diary.
sitting here, and I will literally pull up the big chunk ass camera and be like, Kodak, verily, for I knew thee. Straight up doing the whole the skull thing. I forget what that guy's name is.
Poor York, I knew him
That's the
well.
one. Yeah.
All
Alas,
right.
poor
Well,
Yorick, for I knew him well.
I'm gonna continue looking in the medical office, officers.
Yeah, we'll look around
area. You guys can.
I will help you out looking through all the drawers and stuff for any books and documents and stuff. Anything that might give us some kind of idea.
all right. Well, you guys go ahead and drop me a search.
Cool.
Can I take a 10?
Well, I've got a 40 in
Nobody
search.
told you no.
It can
Go
only
for it.
indwell.
Can I take a 10? Can I add a 10?
Nobody said no, so go ahead.
Oh, that's not by me. Yeah. Sorry. When you said take a 10, I interpret that in the more generic tabletop mindset of like, oh, she just wants to like have her result be a 10.
All right.
I mean,
well, I'm
that's
trying,
a carrot call, but not typically
I'm
just a seed.
trying not to fail, okay?
Ooh.
I'm
And
not
I
even looking in the room.
still fail.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna roll Ross. He's just kind of standing there.
Max is just looking at Ross like, wait a minute, how did you get here without us noticing?
I don't know. Seems like your problem, not mine.
You know what? You're probably right.
So I fail.
So we all
Yeah,
fail.
I gotta say critical failure doesn't mean shit here. What am I gonna do? Have you unfind something?
I sneeze and accidentally bury a vital clue.
No.
That's called losing something.
Yeah. No. So you guys are going through the medical office, like, notably, no body. Or medical office room. No body. The bed's, unmade, but that is as weird as you want it to be.
It could have been
I mean, there's like
somewhere else.
there's nothing like scattered around. It's not like well, the room was unsearched until you guys got to it. Then there was shit thrown everywhere. There's your critical failure.
Shit
enough.
Max just-
thrown
Yeah, Max
Max just started
quickly
dumping shit over.
Yeah,
He's
he
just
rips
taking
open a
out
drawer,
drawers.
grabs everything in it, flicks through it, and then throws it behind him.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's so incredibly aggressive in his search technique.
Yeah, there's actually like a first printing edition of Moby Dick that he ripped the cover off of on accident.
Wow.
Which is actually incredibly difficult because it was a hardbound book.
Yeah. He had that momentary Hulk strength.
So notably, we
As a per-
find nothing.
as a person who actually likes hardcover books over paperback, that hurt personally.
Magica is now hurt to his core.
Oh, good. I've given him psychic damage in real life.
Yes.
But while you guys are searching that, we're gonna jump down to the machine room. Engine room. Engine room? Boiler room. That
Boiler room? Yeah.
All of the above.
So
Fair.
you're going deck D.
I mean, he's on deck 10.
Yeah, but he's on D, all of the above, also known
Fair
as
enough.
this deck.
All right, but you're down in the engine room. Dr. Camille's there again. KK is around, doing something, working on stuff. You can hear them working.
They're vibing.
T-posing
Yeah.
for dominance.
No, actually working. As you're working on the engines, you stop every now and again because you hear like the weirdest sound, like not a weird sound. How do I describe it? You're hearing a sound that you don't think you should be hearing. It definitely sounds like a metallic sound, but it's not coming from inside the room. It's coming from outside the room. It's just weird because you're on a boat, and this room goes from hole to hole.
So it sounds like it's just coming from outside the ship, like something's like maybe bumping against the hull.
Yeah.
mean, the question is, do you hear a violin?
You said it sounds like metal. Is it like metal banging or metal scraping?
Both. Like, you know, at one point it'll be like some banging, then another one will be scraping, then back to banging.
Oh. Okay.
That was weird. Foundry just randomly zoomed in for me.
Yeah, same.
Oh, that's because I have a set. There's a setting I didn't change where when somebody types something into Foundry, it'll zoom in on their token.
Oh, it zooms on their character. Yeah.
Damn it, here
No.
I just did that for me.
No potential paranormal shit going on in real life, guys.
Hey, we don't know. Your house could be secretly haunted.
That'd be very weird because that'd mean to be haunting everybody's screen.
Fair.
But I mean, fair enough. I mean, like, we're in the ocean. It's not unheard of for either other pieces of debris or flotsam to be floating into the ship. I'm not. So I'll try to ignore it and just keep focused on the task at hand.
All right. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a lot going around in the engine room right now. So sorry, Grover, I have to bounce away from me again.
That's fine.
All right, back up to you guys at the search room. So what are we searching now?
All right, well, first off, we do the incredibly sensible thing when we are finished with the chief medical officer's room. Is when we come out, we close the door and we put a big fucking X on it.
Yeah, let's,
I
Marking
mean-
that this room has been searched.
I mean, yeah, everybody else has been doing that, or something similar. But remember, there was a room that had a giant biohazard written on it, and it was very gross. You guys open the door, we're like, ah, there's a pool room.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, later we're going to go back there and probably find Theodore face down on it.
I think we made that joke last session too.
we did.
Anyway. So, who's next? Well, which room's next?
I suppose we go in a circle.
That would be next on the list. So, first officer would be on the right if you're looking down the hallway. Officer would be the left, so it'd be the XO.
Right, so yeah, we'll go over and attempt to gain entry to the XO's room.
All right, you guys open the door. Wait, who's opening the door?
I'll open it.
All right. As you open the door, you are immediately assaulted as something drops into your face.
Oh god.
You don't know why it's here, but there's just some junk that was tied to the ceiling. Well, not tied. Apparently, the XO had a thing for using rigging to add extra space.
Ah, right. Yeah, so he's got like the rigging net attached to the roof and then like some stuff put in there.
Yeah.
There's just a random Furby tied up in the corner.
It wouldn't be a Furby because this was the 50s.
When was the Furby? 80s?
Something like that.
Like 90s, man. What the fuck?
Oh, Furby is a lot later than I thought it was.
Yep.
1998.
So
Anyway.
yeah, funk. Ah, what the fuck?
Yeah, so minor jump scare. But the only thing that fell on you was like a coffee mug, a couple pencils, a box that had they were around, had some baseball cards in it. Actually,
Hey, a first edition Mickey Mantle.
what are the skills? Actually, just straight up throw me an intelligence there, Kieran. Oh wait, is there an appraise? Yeah, too late. Some of these baseball cards, they might actually be worth some money.
I'm totally taking the baseball cards.
After I make the joke about a first edition Mickey Mantle.
Oh no, I was already thinking about that because I'm like, hey, baseball cards are actually could be worth some money.
Yeah, so you make the joke about the first edition Mickey Mantle, and then I pick up a handful of cards, I flick through, and I'm like, hey, look, a first edition Mickey Mantle. Mine. Stuffed in pocket.
You didn't get a critical success. It's not going to be the most expensive baseball card.
Well, see, the thing is, right, it's the super most expensive baseball card, except it's scuffed up, so it's not actually worth anything.
Actually, if anything, that would make it worth more.
That's
All right,
not
fine.
how
then.
that
It's
works.
completely pristine. It's in whatever situation makes it not worth that much.
56 tops. Yeah, this is the guy I was thinking of. Yeah, you actually do find a white-backed Jackie Robinson baseball card.
Okay.
Which, depending on the grade, call it a grade 8, is worth about $6,200.
Are you looking at Sports Card Pro?
eBay. But
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I this is literally the first of me hearing that name.
anyway, and assuming the rest of you are going to head inside and start searching, everybody go ahead and drop me a search.
Would you
I
like one from
succeed
me
on
as
the
well?
dot.
Yes. Okay, Max, you have slightly redeemed yourself as you are the only one who didn't fail this time around. The thing, this is the weird thing. Dr. Bacon isn't entirely, her thought process wasn't entirely wrong. Officers are supposed to keep officers' logs, all of them, and they are supposed to keep their own like private logs. Well, not private.
Yeah, like
Individual.
Captain's log.
Yeah, individual. And they are supposed to log events so that when somebody's looking over it, due to if there has been an investigation or whatever, they can cross-reference all of them to see the events that line up. Notably, well, you guys didn't find the chief medical officer's log. Partly due to your own failures of just tossing shit around the room. Maybe. You can't be confirmed.
We'll never really know.
Yeah. The weird thing is, you actually stopped and took your time. You're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't just toss shit around the room like I'm a fucking whirlwind. And you are pretty goddamn certain there's no logbook here.
No sign of logs. A lot of signs of junk. What do you guys think?
Head empty, no thoughts.
Pretty much.
What if they already picked up the logs and put them somewhere else?
Who would be they in this question?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a question. First off, who's they? And second off, yeah, I mean, they have to be somewhere.
The
And
captain's quarters.
they're not here.
What if the captain or security officer decided to do so?
They didn't have a chief security officer on this passenger ship.
Okay.
You get from Ross.
Well, probably be the captain then.
Yeah, we probably might as well just bite the bullet and go check the captain's quarters, see if they've got them.
All right, well, you guys will do that. I'm gonna jump back down to the engine room. Grover, that sound persists. It's actually getting a little louder. Not louder, more prominent, I guess.
All right. Do we have people who are like a diving team who are like kind of welding the hull of the ship?
You have diving equipment. You don't really have a dedicated diving team. There, if you need people to go into the water, that is a thing that can happen. But there's nobody in the water right now because, like, given the temperature of the water, you could only be in the water for 10 to 20 minutes at a time.
Okay.
But if there is a problem or something needs to be investigated, like you guys were worried, you might have to check the rudder and the propellers, see if anything was caught in them. Which you still might, because you're not entirely sure if the chains are freed yet. But that's a problem for another day. But the short version, if you want somebody to go and check it, you can request it.
All right. Yeah, I'll send a call over to the Will to Power and request. People are only working teams, so we'll request if a team can investigate the. I'm on the front of the ship, right? No, back. Oh
Maybe
fuck,
aft.
that's a keel, right?
Aft.
Aft. Okay.
Yeah. The keel is the underside.
Also appropriate, I suppose, but ask someone to investigate that part of the ship, saying that I'm hearing a bizarre sound, and I don't naturally think it's I don't think it's just idle debris or flotsam bumping into the ship.
You'll get back. Captain, or from Keep an Eye. All right. Yeah, I'll get a team in the water.
Do you want me to join them, or you want me to stay here?
No, just keep getting at it. Fuck. Keep working on that engine.
Will do.
All right. Bounce back up to the search party. So you guys go. Assuming, keeping with what you guys literally just told me less than 5 minutes ago, you're going to the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys bounce into the captain's quarters. The captain's quarters, yes, they're the biggest. That doesn't mean much. All of the other ones, you get in there and it's like the bed is slightly bigger than a twin bed. I guess, which is like a full bed or whatever. I'm not entirely sure. The captain definitely has like a bed that could sleep 2 people. You'd be not pressed right up against each other, but it would definitely be, you would not have a lot of space. On one side, there is a writing desk and a chair, like a full-size writing desk and a chair. The other 2 rooms you're in, they had a writing podium. Well, podium would be the wrong term. It's definitely a writing desk, but it is much smaller. It was a little bit wider than the chair. This one is a decent size. On the other side, there's where the closet is, the wardrobe. There's a footlocker at the end of the bed. Definitely the carpeting and everything is moldering. You expected this. The curtains are a little decayed. Although the curtains are on the back side, as you guys are at the end of the deck. Yeah. And, go ahead and drop me a search. Ross actually is going to help this time.
Apparently, I can't roll success.
I mean, you're searching great, buddy.
Hey, I got it.
All right.
My turn.
Yeah. Dr. Megan, you're going through here. You don't find the captain's log. You don't find the medical officer's log. You don't find the ex-host log. You don't find the first officer's log. You do find the communications officer's log. Why it's here, you have no fucking clue.
Still gonna go through it.
So, like standard communication officer's log, this is not his personal diary or log. This is as business-like as you can get. It is had a ship-to-ship contact here with this ship at this time. Had a contact with this radio signal. It is this lighthouse at this point. We had a radio contact here. Lists the latitude, longitude. Wasn't sure what it is. Claimed to be a ship. Was or it had a contact here, claimed to be a ship, was outside of any known shipping lanes. We have the name. We'll have it run down when we get to port.
Look for the name.
They didn't have one, or it wasn't given anyway.
Okay, out of interest, I assume there are times, times and dates.
Yeah.
Would this possibly be when are the last entries?
The last entry does line up with what you know. The last contact they had was with Hot Swag Island. And it the writing does get a little more chaotic as you're writing it, meaning that like when it first started, it was very the guy's handwriting was never good to begin with, but it was legible, like clearly legible. It was defined lines as he's writing, as he's going. It was definitely starting to get more hastily done, scrawled. You can tell there was a shake in his hand as he's writing.
So we can definitely tell that this person was going mad because he stopped capitalizing their sentences.
Or it was a high case of anxiety.
Yeah. Anxiety, Lovecraftian mind break. What's the difference?
One's normal, the other's not.
So you say.
Yeah, no new information, because again, these are just where they had points of contact and who it was and why they were. Not even necessarily why they were contacting. No, it would have been why they were contacting it. So they did contact Housefag with the express point of being like, we need people to know where our last point of contact was, so if something goes wrong, they can come find us.
Yeah.
And this was a planned contact anyway.
Okay.
There's no like blood on the book or anything. It's just the change in handwriting.
Change in
Not as if
handwriting.
it's not as if it was a different person, as in like they were having trouble keeping the pen steady.
Okay.
So they've probably still written it in shorthand, but the shorthand looks more shaky.
No, you wouldn't write a communications journal in shorthand. You want to make sure anybody who picks it up knows what's going on.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
It might be concise and curt, but not shorthand. Basically, as few words as possible to get the point across. But it's not like the medical shorthand where it's just like, I know what those 6 letters mean, or I know what those 6 letters are. I don't know what that means together. And the doctor looks at it, it's like, oh, 20 milligrams of penicillin. What? Yep. That is unfortunately all you guys get from the captain's room. Ross is looking very perturbed. He's like, huh. Yeah.
Out of interest, is there
Shouldn't-
anything else other than the logbook that we would find?
Oh, I
Because
kind of breezed over a lot of this. You find the standard things you would expect to find in an officer's quarters, like you find clothes, you find writing implements, you find empty. You guys found a bunch of empty notebooks.
Framed picture of the captain above the bed.
Not above the bed, above the writing
it's
desk.
the ship's cat, but not worry.
No, the ship's cat is above the bed. The captain has his own frame picture above the writing desk. You guys do find like personal effects. Like you find all their wallets.
Everybody's wallet or just his?
All 3.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm assuming that's as we're investigating the different rooms, we are finding
Yeah.
people's wallets.
Yeah. In each specific room. The names line up with what you expect from the crew manifest that Ross Hendricks has.
Oh, sensibly enough, I will take like pictures of the IDs and that, as we confirm these people were definitely there and stuff, just in case the IDs themselves go walkies, we have backup info.
Got it.
You know what? Everybody go ahead and drop me an alertness.
Oh
when you
no.
start taking pictures.
Can I take it down?
No, this is the GM is saying no to this.
I
Oh my
still
god, 3
succeeded.
successes.
I still succeeded.
Yeah, just
All right.
roll well.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah, nothing out of the order happens.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's a skill issue. You got to roll better.
To speed this up, because you guys got to the room that mattered. Looking through the other officers, you find you do find the first mate's log. It seems to have been destroyed.
Destroyed.
All the pages have been ripped out, and any part that would have still been even minorly legible has been crossed out. Had something put on it, ink splattered on it. The log is completely illegible. There is no saving it.
Hey Karen, didn't you say that there were some military guys who didn't want us to be on that island?
Is Ross in the room?
Yeah.
I casually glance at him, and then I casually glance at Dr. Payne, like, what are you talking about, Dr. Payne?
Well, I swore you said something about it.
You know what?
Must have been another hallucination.
Wait. No, hang on.
Never mind.
Hang on. No, wait a minute. There's... Drop me a human, Dr. Payne.
I'm
She's got a 0 in it, doesn't she?
What the fuck?
Oh no, she got a base 20.
No, Kieran's fucked, and it's gonna be all your fault.
Oh, critical failure. You have no idea what the hell's Kieran is going on about. You know for a damn fact that there was a point where all of you guys were together, and he said that Ross Hendricks was on the line with government agents from Greenland.
I mean,
For a fact. You remember it clear as day.
Yeah, is this for her 100% remembering what was said?
No. The human was to see if she could figure out what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Yeah, well,
you did not.
awkward
Here's-
about it.
here is my
in
thought.
in fairness, we were all kicked off the bridge during that event too.
Here's my
No,
thought.
That's why it's mine.
I know what Kieran's trying to do. He is trying to direct Dr. Megan to be like, stop it. Yes, I did. It's just like, stop. We're not talking about this here. And if she had succeeded the human role, she would have got that. But a critical failure, no. You are absolutely fucking certain he said something about it. Not only are you certain about it, you remember it word for fucking word. You know he said it. You know they're agents on the other phone. You know Ross Hendricks was talking to them. And you know Kieran knows about it. And you know about it. And you know Max knows about it.
Here's my point about this, okay? What if there was somebody who was brought onto the ship anyway before we even been here, and they're the ones who took and destroyed this material?
Okay,
Yeah.
as the camera pans over, I am actually doing like the random eyebrow arching whilst looking at her, changing eyebrows every other sentence. And I'm also I'm also kind of waiting on to see what Ross says about this.
Well, he wasn't like in the room. He was like in the doorway, just kind of like waiting on you guys. Clearly, the only room he cared about was the captain's quarters. But at this, he's going to stop leaving the door and be like, I did talk to some government agents. And he's going to walk by and kind of look at Kieran before continuing. And yeah, they were trying to like keep us away from housefag and some other stuff.
I mean, considering what we found in the hospital, I can't say I blame them.
I mean, this is my thought. What if they actually got somebody on here, took care of destroying the evidence, and then up and left?
If you're gonna go that far, why not take the ship?
Because maybe they wanted it to be drifted. I don't
gonna-
know.
Well, Kieran's going to put a hand up there to be like, hold on. What I remember, and there's going to be that kind of look of like the slightly sort of pretend apologetic look of don't be pissed, but you hired me for this job, kind of thing, right? Saying no. What I remember from that is basically we were being ordered to stay the fuck away from this by quote unquote someone who did not identify themselves.
Okay, someone who did
However,
not.
However, that someone broke through our radio with Greenland.
Right.
The part that you probably might forget is I was in the process of alerting the authorities to the missing college students. After all, I am basically the only person on this entire team who speaks Greenlandic, which I'm actually pretty sure is not the correct name for that language, but I don't fucking know.
Oh, no, it is. Yes, it is. I looked it up.
Yeah, it is.
I would not have. I would have given you the actual name of it. But look it up on Wikipedia, man.
That is totally fair. Yeah. So because I was alerting them to the fact that these bodies had been found, and generally speaking, it has nothing really to do with our job. But while
right.
I'm on the radio to them, this other call comes in.
All right.
Completely over everything that
Okay.
we're on the radio with.
Clearly, you heard the conversation. I'm not upset. Hell, not even disappointed. Good job, by the way. I'm mad you didn't tell me that you heard about it. You know, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So maybe there's some shadowy government organization that doesn't want people fighting the ship.
Why?
Maybe. I know. But why shadowy government need to do anything?
Would
I
there?
mean, you actually put a gesture to Ross and be like, yeah, that's why I hadn't brought anything up about this before. Because, yeah, we heard the radio call, but what did we actually hear other than, ooh, don't go looking there or else?
I swore there was something more said. I swear.
I mean, it could have been, I don't really remember. Wasn't exactly paying attention. I don't care, because it might not be a government organization. It could be another team looking to cash in on the ship.
But the fact is,
Exactly.
this is
That's why we're all
destroyed.
here, because this is worth a lot.
Why is this destroyed?
We don't know.
I'm not clairvoyant.
Maybe go to the last page, trace over it with a pencil, see if there's any impressions left.
Well, real quick, is there any skill that could be used to determine if this was destroyed recently, or if this was destroyed, like, you know, back when the ship went missing?
Yep, and I don't think any of you have it. It's forensics.
I do have it.
All right, then roll it.
Yeah, go for it.
I have a net 0 in forensics.
And I
Damn
failed.
it.
Yeah, if you have a 0 in it, you can't roll it.
I mean, I got 50 in criminology.
I almost was gonna take a 10.
You know what? No, you know what? Go ahead and roll that one.
That is a failure anyway.
All right, cool. I don't have to.
I have a 10 in criminology. I'm not rolling.
To be fair, what all criminology would give you is reasons why someone would destroy it. It wouldn't give you any information on it or how long it had been or any of that. Unfortunately, Dr. Megan, you're having problems determining when it was destroyed. Like the ink on it, or that was used to like cover up some of the other words, looks new. The pages are very old. The rip marks are worn. The edges have softened on it, so that looks old. But some of the other evidence looking at it looks new. It's really hard to tell, and it could just be the fact that it's been sitting in a desk for 70 years. It could be the fact that it's only been sitting in the desk for 10 minutes after it was sitting out for 70 years, and somebody came and destroyed it and put it in the desk.
Okay.
But if you wanted to hide the evidence, why not scupper the ship while you're at it?
Because maybe.
And that was Ross's point. Like somebody was trying to get people to not find this. Then why wouldn't they just take it? And all ripping up the log isn't going to stop somebody from finding a ship. You'd have to find the ship to find the logs. So if they're just trying to keep people from knowing what happened on the ship, again, sinking the ship's the easiest way to do it.
Well,
I mean,
Yep,
I
we can hear you.
understand that. It's just that this seems this ink seems very new compared to everything else.
I mean, maybe could just be well preserved.
Yeah, this ship isn't exactly in the best condition. Like, it's not environmentally controlled.
All right, I'm gonna look at another page compared to the page that I was looking at. Does the ink look different? No change. Okay.
Nope.
Just saying. Anyway.
I mean, to be fair, in the situation, I'm kind of with Ross here. Like, if I wanted to put a stop to this group checking this place out, and I was coming here first, then yeah, I'm going to scuttle the ship. I wouldn't be looking through, finding the logbook and trashing it. I'd just be sinking the entire ship.
Yeah, because that would just accomplish the same goal.
Yeah.
And it would actually destroy all the other evidence, probably keep people from figuring out what actually happened. Now, see, the weird part is, I am of the mind that that was destroyed at the same time these barricades were put up.
That is possible.
Yeah, I mean, it looks about this. It looks like it would have been destroyed at the same time.
Because I am thinking these barricades were put up by whoever was on the ship for some reason. Now, yes, you guys keep telling me that there's no signs of battle, blood, or any of that. But maybe it just never made it this far. Maybe we haven't exactly looked at the lower decks. I mean, you guys kind of looked at some while you were going to the engine room, but like, I don't know. This whole thing's weird. All I'm
We've
gonna
also
do.
got the entire thing of, like, that zombie attack that we went through. There's no guarantee that a trace would even be left.
Also, that, well, I mean, the bullet holes were left from all the guns that were firing and the blood that you guys spurted everywhere.
I could just be smoking in the wind, but the fact is that I feel like there is something. I kind of agree with the fact that it probably was during the barricades, but this is just not right. Okay, why would they do that?
I don't know. I mean, good news is you guys haven't hallucinated yet.
That is good news. All right, well, should we move on?
I mean, I guess we can move on to deck 4. I mean, I got to play with you guys for the rest of the day. We're gonna kick back down to the engine room. Grover, you're gonna get a call over the radio from Captain Wally.
All right, I'll pick up.
All right. Well, good news, bad news. Good news, we
What's
figured
up?
out what was making that noise. Bad news, we found one of our missing crewmates.
Oh no. What?
Oh no.
Yeah. So, remember the radio operator that went missing?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he was floating in the water next to the ship. I don't know how he got entangled in it, but he has about 3-4 foot steel rods through his chest. That was the sound we were hearing, was him banging up against the side of the hull.
Damn. Was he like? How did he get there though?
With 4 steel rods through him.
I don't know. We've already pulled the body, and Dr. Chen's doing an autopsy. But he keeps going on and on and on about how difficult it is to do an autopsy on a body that has steel rods through its chest.
But I'm not
Alright,
there.
well.
I can't say anything.
I'll keep you posted if anything else seems strange around here.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm actually going to have everybody pull back for now.
All right, we'll start packing it up then.
Yeah, I'm going to contact the others and have them show up or come back too.
All right, see you soon.
Yeah, keep an eye out, because if this is Theodore finally losing his fucking mind, he might try to come after other people.
True. Or some other form of attack. Don't think someone just ends up in the water before some number of rosters chest by happenstance.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll have to figure out how to proceed from here. Anyway, pack up, come back.
Will do.
All right, Grover, your turn to throw me.
Like
an alert.
Grover like calls over to KK. It's like,
Well,
hey.
Before you do that, throw me an alertness.
All right. My phone running very slow. It might take a minute.
That's fine. All right.
Oh.
As you go to call over to KK, you swear you see the same communications guy that went missing. That is, you've just been told is dead, standing in the middle of the engine room.
Alive or
Kind of hard to tell. That it's just a person standing there that you vaguely remember wearing the same clothes and have similar facial features. It would be hard for them to be dead and standing.
well, what I mean is like Mangles. We've seen a lot of like.
No. Looks completely normal.
All right. Still going to respond as if they are a threat. As Grover will pull a sidearm pointed at them and shout over, "Who are you? Identify yourself now."
The communications officer will tilt their head to the left. Look like they're about to scream or say something. You're not sure. Their mouth opens wide. You see terror pass over their face as 3 holes appear in their chest and their heart is ripped out. And their heart disappears. And they drop to the ground. And then in a blink, they're gone. I do need you to roll sanity.
Oh, he still gets to keep the 69.
Yep. That's it. There's no blood on the ground. You KK and Dr. Boucher, you now that you're thinking about it, both of them should have been able to see this from where they're working.
They would have said some things that you just said.
I mean, they clearly hear you.
Yelled at.
Yeah. They both turn around, but I don't seem to have seen anything. We'll be like, it is Camille, what and KK is over there, what he's wrong.
Grover will like hesitantly like put his gun down so he's not pointed in the room. Another one of those vivid hallucinations seems to have come over me.
He's not good.
Grover will take a deep breath and explain. The communications officer, well, not officer, but personnel who went missing a couple of days ago was found. He was impaled by a few steel bars and was found outside the boiler room. He was making that sound before. Was these steel bars banging and scraping against the hull.
I did not.
While he's calling everyone back to the Pride's Fall. Right back to the Will to Power.
Very well, I did not hear anything scraping on the sides of the hull. Well, I suppose it's good that you did. Maybe the only reason he was stuck on his side is the current was pushing him against the side. As soon as we had floated over and the current changed, he would have been pushed out to sea. At least now we know what happened. Well, we know the end anyway.
Yeah. Wally and I seem to be in agreement that we think this was more likely hostile action than happenstance, whether from Theodore, if he truly is going insane, or some other entity on the ship.
Yes, it would be hard for someone to accidentally put 3 steel rods to their chest and throw it overboard. On accident.
But the hallucination I saw is disconcerting to say the least. I saw the image of the communications personnel in his what looked like his last moments before he was impaled. Before I speaking of, Grover will like kind of like reach into like his bag and like pull out a notebook and like he'll draw like a silhouette of a person and put X's on where he saw the piercings on the person when he died, and compare that with the actual cadaver when we get back on board.
All right. So you guys pack up and start heading back. Search team, you guys are gonna get a call over the radio. Well, specifically, Max, you're gonna get a call over your radio.
Max will answer.
Grab your group, bring them back.
We haven't finished searching the decks yet, though. Might I ask why?
You can. I'll tell you when you get back.
Fair enough. Before I hang this up and get everybody else back together, were you aware that our benefactor here left the ship?
He did what now?
Yeah, Mr. Hendricks is with us presently.
You see him waving at you? I was not aware of this, and I suppose I'm going to have yet another argument with him.
Oh, I can just picture that. Yeah, there's like super rich dude that is standing there waving as if he's like, he's waiting on someone coming off a plane or something. Just hi.
That's pretty much.
That is the exact imagery I got from it too.
I got that too.
All right, then be double careful and get his. Just get everybody back.
Over and out. Okay, everybody, pack it up. We gotta go back to the ship now. Some kind of emergency, I guess.
Aw.
We probably should take the logbook with us.
We haven't even made it to lunch yet.
Max takes out a Cliff Bar.
Oh God, no! What's wrong with you?
What isn't wrong with me?
I'm glad you said it.
Well, we have a doctor here. She could tell you what's not wrong with you.
It'd be a much shorter list than what is.
Oh, I disagree. Have you read the DC Journal of Internal Medicine? Like 6,000 pages. And yes, I will forever reference Fallout with that book. I do not care.
All right. Well, I guess we're packing up. Let's take what we can, and should we take the logbook too?
I mean,
well, yeah.
sure, why not? I don't care. Not gonna help us get the ship back to dock. So.
All right. Let's take the logbook too.
Yeah, let's go meet up with
Which book are you talking about? Are you talking about the trashed one or the one from the radio guy?
How about both?
I mean, if you want to sit and fuck around with the trashed one and see if you can salvage something.
You're not. That was you guys have already failed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying this in character. Like, if you want to waste your time with that.
This isn't Pathfinder where it's wait 24 hours and try again.
I know that. It's the fact is though, this is something that she would do.
Fair enough. All right.
But yeah, and that's what I'm commenting on. It's like, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, if you want to waste your time with that, you're carrying it though.
Well, we may as well bring the wallets with potential ID in them too. I assume the wallets had IDs for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
None of just so that we're clear, so that we can hit all the tropes. None of them look suspiciously like Ross.
No.
Okay.
I mean,
No,
one looks a little bit like him, but like, he's kind of a generic white dude.
Fair enough.
I mean, if you bring it up and be like, "Oh, yeah, it's my grandfather," I didn't tell you he was on the ship.
You might have, but it would have come in but it was only in passing and not passing anything memorable.
Yeah, he was the first mate.
I kind of look at Ski Mask and I point at the floor, and I'm like, this ship's name, and then I point to approximately where the other ship is, and state that ship's name because I forget which way the names are.
Pride's Fall is the passenger ship. Will the Power is the ship you guys are on.
Right. Yeah, the point being, drawing comparison between the so pretentious they are literally making an Ouroboros style names.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
as you guys are walking back, he's like, "Hey, okay." So in all honesty, I wanted to try to find out what happened to my grandfather. That's why we're here. Well, that's why I'm here. You guys
Right.
are here to get paid.
But we didn't find anything in his office quarters.
No. I mean, again, there's a lot going on that's weird here. I can admit that, and I'm a weird guy, and it's weirding me out.
Good to know. That it's not just
I was
in
like-
our heads.
'Cause I'm like, to be fair, the ship is in way better condition than I expected it to be. That is, with the holes and rust and everything. I expected this thing to basically be a frame floating on the fucking sea.
Yeah, I think in that situation it's floating optional.
I mean, at that point, we'd have just towed it back. Would have even tried to get the engines running. Granted, we would have towed it back, and then they'd been like, "Can you prove it's that ship?" And we're like, who cares? Papers pick it up, and I'll still get paid.
Sure.
Because they can't prove it's not either. Anyway, yeah. I would like all of you guys to drop me a human real fast.
I'm gonna
Well,
fail.
you three, not Grover.
I'm gonna fail. Alright, let's see here.
I successfully.
Yep.
Keiran, he's not lying about that guy being his grandfather. You are getting the extreme suspicion that he is not telling you everything, though.
I mean, he is that kind of guy.
I mean, he literally manages to bypass security cameras. He is a weird dude.
Look, I mean, you don't have to be an eight-dimensional entity to be able to just know field of view.
If you guys went and like sat in the Will to Power and you had enough time to scan through and spool through all of the cameras for 24 hours, look at every individual camera for each 24 hours a day, you would find him on the cameras.
Okay.
It's just the dude is never in one spot for very long. It is never in the spots you expect him to be.
Okay.
Like
I'm
somebody
try-
could say
I'm
they
trying to
just
think
saw him
of
on deck
the-
3 while he's in the bridge.
Well, no, it's nothing like that has ever happened. It's just like you expect the rich guy to be like in the rec room or his office or standing on the bridge, not wandering around one of the lower decks for no reason.
That makes sense, yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
You can't now.
All right. My net was acting up and I lost connection for a hot minute there.
I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything that I could really do with that role, and nothing's coming to mind.
The only information you get is he's concealing something.
Yeah.
It all depends
There's
on whether or
something
not
he wants out of it.
it's. All right, I'll tell you this. You're getting the suspicion that he is here for more than just to figure out what's going on or what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was already getting that impression that it's not so much the ship or like the prestige of being the one in charge of the operation that found and returned the ship. There's something on the ship or something tied to the ship that's like his ultimate goal. The ship is a stepping stone, most likely. It's the kind of vibe I'm getting from it.
Well, Grover, you link back up with the others. Now, knowing that Ross Hendricks is here, he waves to you. Hello.
Like
So-
to me, or
Yeah.
Yes.
oh, well, why is Ross on the prize fall with your team, Max?
He said he wanted to come along. He just kind of appeared behind us when we got to the
Oh, he didn't.
officers' quarters.
We opened the door to the chief medical officer, and he was already there.
Well, no, Max is right. He was behind you guys. You opened the door and he was
Oh,
behind
was
you.
it?
Hello.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I got the impression he was in the room.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Right. Fair enough then. I don't say that.
See, I do defend Magic when he's right.
It just doesn't happen a lot.
Well, you said it.
I mean, to be fair, that's more me mishearing or misunderstanding
Fair
what
enough.
you had said, but him actually hearing what you said.
Fair enough. Yeah, he's like, I got bored waiting on the ship. And you guys have been investigating the officer's quarters, which is actually, relatively interesting. So here I am. I mean, it's supposed to be relatively interesting. It's actually pretty fucking boring.
Well, we just didn't find what we were looking for.
True.
Suspiciously, we didn't find what we were looking for.
I mean, do you even know what you were looking for? As far as I know, you guys were
I was
clearing the
looking
deck.
for logs, but we were also clearing for other things too.
Well, I believe you guys were specifically supposed to clear the deck to make sure there was nothing hostile or anything completely wrong with the ship or giant holes or anything like that. So technically, you did find what you're looking for. Nothing bad.
Grover will kind of like eye over to Keiran. Was one of you assigned to keep an eye on Ross while he was accompanying your team?
Well, we were all keeping Wait, what do you mean assigned?
He is here.
Our employer accompanied you on your team onto a dangerous mission for seemingly nebulous reasons.
The
But
rooms,
in
were
any-
tiny. The rooms were tiny. We were all in one.
Yeah, if you mean just like if we were keeping an eye on him, yes.
We were not assigned to keep an eye on him. In fact, Noali didn't even know he was here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, of you three, in my opinion, one of you should have been assigned as designated babysitter.
Well,
But if that
normally
wasn't
be
done, stuck his
security.
life.
That would normally be security, but he was with us the whole time, so it's no big deal.
Yeah.
It
if
could have
we
been
were
a very
spread-
big deal.
If we were spreading out, then yes, one of us would have been expressly sticking with them, but we were all basically together throughout the officer's quarters is like, and he makes the kind of gesture, it's not exactly huge. It's a small area, but we're all together.
I could touch my one hand to one side and my other hand to the other side.
Oh, no, they're bigger than that, but think like hotel room size.
I could lay on the floor, and my head and my feet would both be touching a wall.
Did we ever get a name for the missing person, by the way?
No, but you can. Edward. There, done.
Edward? Okay.
Edward Radio.
Yeah,
Any
he's
strange
radio
happenings on? Did anything strange happen on your guys' end?
No.
Surprisingly, no for once.
Except for the fact that the log just seems to be redacted.
It's not
Oh.
redacted, it's
What do you
destroyed.
mean redacted?
Yeah,
Oh.
destroyed.
Destroyed.
That's a very different word, but fair enough.
Yeah, she has this impression that it might be super important.
I mean,
Oh,
the possibility
oh,
exists that she's correct.
Yeah,
Well,
Did
unfortunately.
I fill you in on why we're evacuating?
He did not. He said he would tell me once we were back to the ship.
Fair enough. I'll wait till he tells you then. No point doing it myself.
All right, and all of you will climb back down to the ship as you're all here now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll just assume Camille and KK went first while you guys were talking.
Fair enough.
Guys climb back down.
Yes, the grown-ups are talking. Let's abscond.
Well, NPC and missing PC.
Fair enough.
But you guys get back down. While it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Asterisk.
Yeah, I said asterisk because he looks at Ross.
Yep.
Ross just cheerily waves.
Now he just shrugs. Think hell worse.
Out of curiosity, while we're boarding the ship, eyeing over Ross, does it seem like he's trying to hide anything? Like, is he trying to? Does it get, do I get the fact he's trying to like conceal an object or thing on his person, so he might have palmed during their expedition?
Drop me. Ooh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with alertness. It would be search if you were actually patting him down.
All right.
Are you patting him down?
No, but
Okay.
in the interest, to borrow some philosophy from Pathfinder 2e, do you want to roll on your end, so I don't necessarily know one way or the other?
Sure. What's your rating?
Rating is 60. You're almost
you can
whatever,
tell.
but I feel like this is okay. But I feel like this is a check where it's like, if I roll a success and get information, I feel like that might incur some metagaming. I don't want that to be the case.
No, it's a
Luckily,
little metagaming amongst friends.
Ross did not dress for the occasion. And that, I mean, he's wearing basically one of those 3-button polo t-shirts that's tucked into his pants. He's wearing khakis. He does have loafers on. He has a belt. Everything is not quite form-fitting, but close to it. It'd be very hard for somebody to hide something unless it was like in the pocket.
Very small. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So he kind of looks like a dad on holiday in Miami.
Yeah, basically. Complete with sunglasses, Gucci sunglasses.
Oh, wow.
This guy
You
dressed.
You are literally just describing one of the outfits from the Miami mission of Hitman 2.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Okay.
This guy dressed
Like-
casually to a search party.
Yeah.
Not just casually, corporate casually.
This dude is self-proclaimed weird. I don't know what to tell you.
So, what's
Well,
the
I mean-
emergency? Why were we recalled to the ship?
All right. Well, now that I've done a head count and all that, so radio operator Edward, yeah, he's dead.
Oh, fuck.
Damn.
Oh well.
Do we know why? How?
Hold.
Do we know what happened?
Oh, Dr. Chen's performing an autopsy right now, and he will not shut up about it.
Okay.
I've never seen that man. I've never heard that man this chatty. And Nuwali will click over to channel 3 on the radio, and there is just Dr. Chen is seeming to do his entire recording of the autopsy through the radio channel.
All right, I'm listening.
Grover will ask, may I have permission to talk to Chen on the radio about the autopsy for a few minutes?
I mean, you can try. I don't know if he'll answer you.
Okay, fair enough. Grover will attempt to radio in onto him.
What? Why am I being interrupted? This delicate situation.
I had a hallucination related to the death of radio operator Edward, and I want to know if you can confirm a few things for me.
I can try.
And then Grover will like go to his notes and it's like, was he impaled 4 times?
3. Although there is a 4th
3.
hole, but
Okay, so impaled by rebar 3 times. Grover will like reference his notes and ask for the compare those to the locations on the actual body and see how it lines up.
oh, sorry if there's any misunderstanding from the dive team. It is not rebar. It is in fact 3 solid hollow pipes.
Is that congruent with what I saw?
You didn't see what caused the wound. You just saw the 4 holes open up and his heart get ripped out.
Okay, fair enough. Were the holes at these locations, as like describe them as like using like body parts like upper shoulder or abdomen?
All 4 of them would have been basically, you know how the heart has 4 chambers?
Yeah.
picture those as like a corner of a square, and each pipe was at each corner, or each
So
hole
that-
was at each corner.
Oh, so you got pierced 4 times in the heart.
It would have been around the heart, not necessarily in the heart. Close enough that the heart could have been nicked, but it looked like if somebody was to take a geometrical shape of a square and put it around the heart, each hole would have been at the corner of the square.
Okay, well, Grover doesn't know anatomy like that, so you're probably settle for saying it's like 3 piercings in the upper left chest, near the shoulder where the heart would be.
4.
Well, 3 and then
You-
the 4th one from the heart. Correct. Fair enough.
I mean, that is the interesting thing. You would be correct, except that the bars don't actually, or the pipes don't line up with that. I was basically finished with this anyway. So, yeah, you know what? I don't really care. So, Captain Diwali, I'm assuming you're listening. Yeah. So the pipes were put in post-mortem. I think they were put in to potentially cover up what actually happened, although it was a very poor attempt, as the heart is still missing. Although the weird part is somebody did try to replace part of his chest. I don't understand that part. I don't think I'm supposed to.
Out of interest, are there any cameras in the medical room?
Yes.
Do we have the potential
Parts
to
of it.
Do we have a potential to bring up an image on a screen?
Sure. Why not? What are you looking for?
Literally, so it can be, look at Grover, point at camera showing corpse being autopsied. Does this line up with what you saw?
Well,
Yes and
the
no.
issue is like I want to confirm what I saw before I see anything reverting to the body, because right now there's no reason I should have any of this information.
You literally
Other
just said
than
you saw
this very
you had
strange and
hallucinations.
nebulous hallucination that I saw after shortly after hanging up with Diwali.
To my findings. Like I said, the pipes were put in post-mortem. There are 4 holes. I don't know why somebody only did 3 pipes. Maybe they can only find 3. And a very, 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 very poorly done graph was put on the body before being thrown into the water in an attempt. I honestly, I don't really know, because anybody who's even a novice at autopsies would figure this out. An attempt to cover up that the heart was removed.
Wait a minute, a graph. So, was the graph from Edward or from
Yes.
something else?
I say graft. They replaced the piece, but you would have to graft it back on in order for it to stay. Because if you just, plopped it back on and threw it in the water, it would just fall off. Basically, somebody ripped out part of his chest, took his heart out, and then put that part of his chest back, but fused it back onto his body.
So any likelihood of this being an accident is out the window. This was a premeditated attack.
Oh, absolutely so.
Out of interest, there would be like I assume there would be some kind of like personnel files on all of the crew and everything.
Yes, but it's dubious whether or not you'd have access to it.
Well, in terms of this, I would probably say to who's the most likely. Is the captain here?
Yeah. I mean, it can be if you want.
Well, if they're there, I would say to them about could we get somebody to check Theodore's personnel file? Would they have had any medical expertise? Because I'm pretty sure you can't do that kind of thing without at least knowing what you're doing.
Assuming
them
all of the
there?
officers are being looped into this conversation, just make it easy.
Yeah.
Captain, well, I mean, there are copies of each one of their personnel files on the ship in the database. I don't remember Theodore having any medical expertise. Dr. Knu Kni. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. You wouldn't exactly need medical expertise for this level of buffoonery. Yeah, what I mean is, this is much easier to show than try to describe over a radio. This is an invitation to come down to the autopsy room, please.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll go down.
Yeah.
Same.
All right, so Camille and the head of the communications team, they are opting to not be here.
Of course.
They're
That's
like,
fair. I mean, it's going to be gruesome.
yeah. K0 is like, no, I don't want to see that. No, I'm good. Trust me. Like, if I go in there, I will be on the floor and I'll be completely useless.
Oh, do you not even want to listen to the gory details?
Nope. And you can see him already turning white.
Fair enough.
I give him a pat on the shoulder. I'll give you the sanitized version after.
Nope. Good. I'm good. Don't worry about it. And Dr. Chairs is like, I do not want to see that. I do not want to see anyone like that. I'll accept whatever report Security Chief Nawali gives me. But onto
That's
the surgery
fair.
theater. Onto the surgery theater. So you guys get there, and Dr. Chen starts explaining everything. You guys can see the 3 steel pipes have been removed and attempt to be placed in an quote-unquote evidence bag. Really, it is just a body bag that they have thrown the 3 pipes into.
Makes sense.
3 pipes.
That's all they have. That's all they have. Especially for something that long, because these are 4-foot long pipes.
Dang. Wow.
Eek.
That just makes sense.
Yes, that's my point. That's why I said this is buffoonery. And like he can't, the body is there. He's got it covered, but he brings up the camera footage because the surgery theater has a camera. Where the narcotics are kept has a camera. Actually, inside the examination room, do not for privacy reasons. That's why when you were asking, I'm like, yes and no. But he brings up the footage and puts it on the screen. See, this is what I'm talking about. And he brings up the uncovers the body. You guys do see a giant gaping hole in the guy's chest. The heart is removed, and the organs around it have basically been pulverized due to whatever the hell did this.
Yeah.
Is there any smoke residue of any sort, or?
No.
How far along on the pipes does the viscera go?
Oh, the pipes went all the way through. Although, like I said, those were put in post-mortem. And he will not flip the body over, but show you a picture of the back. Also, whatever did this, whatever initially killed him and ripped out the heart, did not go all the way through. The holes on the back were made by the pipes. As you see, there are only 3 holes in the back.
Mm.
And then he brings up the footage. Now, what I mean when I say buffoonery is this is the grab, and you see what looks like somebody found the piece of the guy's chest that was ripped out, put it back on, and basically tried to like cauterize it back in place. Like, you do not need medical expertise to do this. This is somebody who's just like, the puzzle piece kind of fits this way, tried to sear it back in. Now, whoever did this was clearly very amateur, because anybody who knows what they're doing wouldn't have even attempted this. There'd be no point. There's
What could they
too
have
much-
used resource for this?
Say that again. You cut out a little bit.
What could it have used for the heat source to try and do that?
Soldering iron, maybe.
Like, where would they have gotten that? Edward left his tools with us. We brought them back to the ship with us when it was reported missing.
You know, I was like, yeah, but Theodore had one on him.
Oh, fair enough.
I am now incredibly concerned for the 2 security guys that sat with Theodore.
Do we not have any way to radio them to alert them?
I have. I've been giving them updates and telling them to call in whenever they get a chance. They have yet to respond.
Yeah.
I would have declared them missing if I was getting reports from them.
Oh wait, they were declared missing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
right.
like the missing persons is Edward, who went missing by himself, and then a team of 3, which happens to include Theodore.
Right. Okay. I wasn't aware that he had 2 security guys with him, and you know they were all qualified missing. Shit.
If you ever need to, if you go to the journal tab, there is a entry called Crew Manifest. I have been updating that as we go.
Crew ostracized by Dr.
Yup.
Payne. too. Wow! You're nice.
I mean, as far as you guys know, that entry matters.
Fair.
One of the people outside Dr. Payne is your guys'
Is
top
Theodore.
suspect at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy
Now,
ostracized by Dr.
granted-
Payne?
He didn't even have a name. He's just a random dude. You guys know where he's at, and he's fine. Nothing's wrong with him.
For now.
I mean, he's out playing foosball right now. You can find him if you want.
Yeah, he's the one that Payne managed to super offend with how bad she was at shuffleboard.
Yeah, that guy. So
Oh,
yeah, he's
that
up
guy.
playing shuffleboard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
He-
I at least have the benefit that I have a potential to speak to Theodore.
Oh, hold on. I gotta find the fucking cat meme.
And he's losing at shuffleboard now because he's missing his favorite puck.
Yes, because she smashed it off the side. It's lost to the depths.
But yes, so something killed him. Something with a tremendous amount of strength and precision. Oh, right. He goes and pulls up a chart, and he's just like, he points at it. This was interesting. He points to the thing. Dr. Megan, you understand what's on here? The rest of you are looking at it, going, okay, we don't know what that means.
Okay. So what do I know?
You know what? I need to make sure I give you the right name.
Let's teach the audience while we're at it.
Okay, I was right. I have found small flecks of keratin in the wounds.
Okay.
Okay.
That's nails, isn't it?
Or claws.
Also,
Also
hair, for that
hair.
matter.
Feathers. Hooves.
So
Outer layer skin,
animal.
invertebrates.
Yeah, but I mean, come
Animal
on. What are we
bits.
saying? Like a sea pig came aboard and decided to use its sea pig hooves to smash its
All right.
way into his chest.
All
Well,
right, all
this
right.
is what
I'm
it
just
does
taking
to a
the
sea
base-
pig and a regular pig is to
Or
ask.
when you open your mouth, if it fills with water, you're an idiot.
For clarity, keratin is one of the family of structural fibrous proteins, also known as scleroproteins. Is the key structural material in making up scales, hair, nail, feathers, horns, claws, hooves, and the outer layer of skin invertebrates. As told you by Dr. Chen.
Yes. And I will listen to that exact definition letter by letter. And I say yes. But again, we're not assuming that Sea-Pig came on board and attacked the guy. Chances are I'm not going to be using my hair to rip your heart out. I'm going to be using my hands, so nails.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Nails slash
Whoever,
claws.
well, whoever put the pipes in was trying to cover up the holes. The holes are far too big for a human finger. As the pipe was only 3 millimeters bigger.
Okay, so
Still, it's steel pipe, so that's not exactly light for 4 feet of pipe.
Being hollow, it's a lot lighter than you think it is.
yeah, that's
Fair.
true. So we're looking
It's
for
Sub-Zero. It's unwieldy to be sure. Don't get me wrong.
They also had to drag the body with that in it and dump it in the ocean.
Yes.
Which would have been a bit more cumbersome in my experience.
Absolutely.
So it's a case of like, if they wanted to just get rid of the body, just toss it overboard without the pipes. We would have never found him.
Yeah, it would definitely been more likely. Although maybe the point was to find the body.
yeah.
Could be a warning.
Oh, another interesting theory.
Oh.
Oh, no. See, this is why I invited you to the operating theater. I am not a detective. Yes, I know forensics. I can find the pieces, the clues, the information, not great at putting them together. Jigsaw puzzles have always eluded me. I don't know why. Anyway.
If he did intend for it to be found, it's concerning because that means he's been keeping tabs on where the teams have been going somehow without being detected himself.
We're assuming that the guy we're looking for is the one responsible.
No, I don't think a person killed this man. I think a person tried to cover it up.
But why would they want to cover it up?
I don't know. That's the thing I don't know.
So
And any speculative theories are just as wild as me thinking that a person didn't kill this man. Or not a person killed this man.
So out of interest, I mean, obviously these were all, what's the term, perimortem.
Post-mortem. Wait, the holes or the pipes?
Well, basically the entire thing. Like, what actually killed him? Is it the being impaled, or is it the heart being removed?
The heart being removed. The holes in his chest, we would have bled out eventually, but having his heart removed is the final blow.
So the pipes and everything, that was definitely after
Yes.
the main event. Okay.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, I was not able to pull any fingerprints off of the pipes just due to them having been in the sea and
Yeah.
a bunch of other factors coming up on them. And I simply do not have the forensic equipment to do a more detailed scan of them or detailed.
Were you able to get an estimate on when he died?
Oh, yes. He's been missing for what, 3 days now? No,
About
2.
that.
No, 2. Yes, he died about 36 hours ago.
So he's
Could've
missing,
been-
give or take 6 hours, and then dead.
12, but yes.
Well, I mean, in theory, this it would be much easier if you killed the guy, taken him to where you're going to dump him, and then put the pipes in. That's much easier to do without being seen.
My question is, there have been numerous people walking around the upper decks. Why didn't they see a blood trail?
Mm-hmm. Because this is not clean.
No, absolutely not. This would have been very bloody.
Fair enough. We could check the decks directly above where the boiler room. That might. Actually, we don't know if that's where the body was dumped. Kurska just coincidentally carried it there.
While he's on the radio, he's like, "All right, I need a 5-man team. You guys are gonna search the outer decks only. You're looking for bloodstains, a blood trail, anything to indicate a body was thrown over."
Yeah, I mean anywhere. Yeah, anywhere along.
Well, that was not to you guys.
Areas. Yeah, I mean, I'm just literally talking to the group here. Yeah, anywhere along that side of the ship, there should be evidence of this.
I'm not taking chances. They're going to search all of the outer decks. No, he goes over here. Do not head inside the decks unless you absolutely have to. You stay outside only. And when you start on the same side as the will to power, and when you transfer to the other, you tell us, and we will move the ship so we can keep an eye on you. You get a Roger over. All right, Chen, is there anything else? No. The not killed by a person theory is the only thing that I have. Because the keratin's throwing me off. Because and he'll pull up. So when they do autopsies, they have a layout of the body, so they can like basically indicate where the trauma was.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulls out pulls up a drawing. As far as my estimates are, the holes that were made were about. Oh man, I really wish I had a tape measure on me. Or about. I'll do it, I guess. About 10 centimeters? No, that's way too big.
Maybe they're just appropriately sized.
Yeah.
For something that could be human.
You know what? I have a better way to do this. About 2.5 to 3 times the size of a normal human finger.
Would this be outside the realms of person wearing gloves? Thick.
Then you wouldn't get the keratin.
No. Could a tool have been made to do this? Sure. What?
That is the likelihood of the tool being made in the first place.
The likelihood of the material being made, or material being used. It's the keratin that throws me off. Because if you're going to make a tool to do this level of damage to somebody, you're not going to use keratin. It's far too weak usually to pierce through the ribcage or to pierce through the chest plate of somebody. Like the thing that made it would have to be made of pure keratin at that size. So he's like, he will show I guess it'd be about an inch, maybe 1.25 inch diameter with his fingers. Like, it would have to be a claw that wide of keratin all the way through. Nothing on this planet has that. Not even a brown bear or a polar bear, a bigger one.
Oh, we're looking for deep ones. Cool.
Well, you say that, he's like, Oh, well, no, that's a thought.
All right, so you're saying that there's keratin in this. Have you checked to see if there's any DNA that might have?
Oh, I don't have access to a large enough network to do that.
Oh, okay.
I can put it through our database, but I highly doubt I'll get anything back. Although, to your point there, Mr. Poole, I suppose why somebody would have this on them, I don't know. Could use the beaks of giant squids. Those would be good.
Yeah.
Giant squids.
Yes, the ones off the coast of Japan. In South America, I think.
But we're nowhere near there.
But somebody would have to bring it with them. This wasn't a giant squid making these 4 precise holes. If a giant squid was going to do this, they would crush them and eat the soft tissue. And it'd be a lot grosser, to put it mildly.
That's the only
You would-
organism we actually found anything in the first place.
Yeah, I would say you would have brought back a lot less. Probably would have brought back his feet, as it would not have tried to eat his boots.
So whoever did this not only had the materials, but seemed to have some idea of what they were doing.
Maybe. I don't want to jump to speculations right now. There are too many unknown factors and too many odd factors. Something terrible happened to this person, yes. Something on that ship. Yes, because he wasn't in the water when this happened. There's not enough flow. Actually, he wasn't in the water long, now that I'm thinking about it. Probably wasn't in the water more than a couple hours. Call it 6.
Then there's almost no way that somebody wouldn't have heard the splash either.
Not necessarily.
When I started hearing the sound, how would that light up on the timeline? Was like, does that mean like, as soon as I heard him, that was when he was dunked, most likely?
No.
Or would have been like right before my shift, sort of deal? Because I ignored it for a period of time.
It would have, now that you're thinking about it and going along this particular timeline, it would have had to have been right before you guys boarded. Because you guys weren't even on the ship for 4 hours.
Okay, fair enough. Grover will mention this, where it's like, if that's the timeline, it was probably dumped right before we boarded, because I heard the sound near the start of my shift, but I initially wrote it off. It wasn't until it persisted that I called it in.
And the timeline lines up because the search team, if you remember, Ross was bitching that you guys didn't get to lunch yet when you guys were ordered back.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, I'm going to compare notes because a thought occurs. Does Grover happen to remember the first hallucination he had in the engine room?
Yeah, someone tried to push me into the boiler.
Because I vaguely remember there was a hallucination of someone impaled to do with a catwalk.
That was KK's
That would be
hallucination.
KK's hallucination.
I believe you also saw, one of you saw a hallucination of somebody jumping into one of the boilers.
That was the part of mine, correct?
Yeah, that was Grover's, yeah. Damn, it's unfortunately KK's not here, because literally my thing was to be like, thumb through a journal and be like, I made note of what people told me, and someone told me about a dude being impaled.
Yeah, but that one, they were basically bifurcated by the...
No, they were not
by that,
bifurcated,
as I
they were
recall.
impaled.
Okay, to Badger's credit, they bifurcated themselves, ripping themselves off of the impalement.
Yes, the point being that they were initially impaled. And
by a lot more than 3. A lot more than 3.
it's specifically the hallucination of dude
Yeah,
being impaled
Yes.
that comes
Fair.
to mind.
Fair enough. If you ask AK about it, they'll go through and describe it. Like that particular hallucination, the guy was impaled through like his leg, his arm, chest, throat.
Like
So,
this guy wanted to get out of that.
Essentially, it was not intended as it wouldn't be like you could suggest it as a premonition.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because that was the kind of idea I had about
No,
that.
good thought line. When you ask about it, you get enough information to be like, okay, similar problem, except that guy actually died to impalement. This guy didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
This guy died to the Aztec ritual.
Yeah, pretty much. He got Kali Mod.
Well, no,
That one.
he got sub-zeroed.
That too.
I mean, I made that joke earlier before I started mentioning the deep ones. Right, so we're looking for Sub-Zero.
But so yeah. Unless you guys have any other questions, Dr. Chad will
I mean,
let you
I probably have a ton, but I can't think of what they would be in anything relevant to the
Yeah.
stuff that we're doing.
And Dr. Chad will be like, well, I do have to get him in a body bag and get this cleaned up. So they're like, oh, speaking of, Dr. Payne, I'm gonna need your help sterilizing this room again.
Yes, sir.
Very good. That is the cue for the rest of you to head toward that door over there. There's a giant exit sign over it.
Yeah, Grover will leave, and he will. So the current plan is to send a search team onto the outer decks of the Pride's Fall, and basically keep physical surveillance on them while they search. Right?
Correct.
Grover will ask Nawali if he can be part of the surveillance squad. Basically, keep an eye on the search team.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. More people, more eyes I got on, the better, I guess.
If I might make a suggestion, don't just have them contacting us when they're going to move around and get out of sight. Keep consistent radio contact if we can. We lost a couple hours the other day.
He looks at you and goes, oh no, I don't know how to do my job.
I casually chuckle as I walk past, intending to go to the highest point on the ship and watch the proceedings anyway, through my high-powered scope.
Look here, DiMaggio. You've been in enough missions, I've been in enough missions. When a team moves from a point to a point, they always radio in.
True as that may be, we lost a few hours the other day. What's to stop it from happening to them?
And if these guys go out of contact for more than 10 minutes, I'm going to go up there personally to find them and throw them overboard. I can start with you. I already know where you're at.
That little voice in the back of your head saying, and he'll do it too.
Wow.
Max will just go and find a place to observe.
Nothing seems to happen. They climb up and they start from the top and work their way down. So they start at deck 1. They find nothing until they get to the bow of the ship on, I want to say it's deck 5. Yep. Deck 5, the promenade deck. Like, yeah, we found the point where somebody was thrown over. Alright. Hold that position. Hey, you. Fucking journalist I don't like. Keiran, that's your name.
Yes.
I need you to climb up there and get some pictures.
Where is up there? I'm assuming he's like gesturing or something.
Yeah, you see the 5 guys standing at the front of the ship.
All right, yeah. I'll like essentially make my way to the best spot I can reach relatively safely with as
Well-
much overview of the ship.
Yeah, two of the security team will meet you at the rope, and you could take some overhead pictures, but that is a long distance to go from the effective top of deck 4 to where the point is, because it is like at the extreme point. Like somebody, you could be forgiven thinking somebody set this guy up like he was Rose, like they were Jack and Rose in Titanic, and then threw him over.
Wait, would say that again?
You could be forgiven for thinking that when the person threw the body over, that they set them up like they were Rose in Titanic before throwing them over.
Oh, right.
So, like, you could try to get some pictures from the top of deck 4. They ain't gonna be very clear.
I mean, I got like, zoom lenses and shit. Obviously not going to be absolutely amazing, but do the best that I can for photographering the stuff. I mean, if he wants me to go onto the ship and document the finding.
Oh yeah. No. You are going on the ship. You can't.
Oh,
you
right.
cannot
That's what
see
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's fair enough.
You cannot see the point from the top of the Wheel of Power where they're at. Like you are looking up at them even from the highest point on your ship.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause the ship is it's the Titanic. We're a freaking towboat.
No.
A
This thing
tugboat.
isn't that big.
I think
Size
he's just meaning in terms of
comparison-wise.
the size comparison.
Like, we're a fucking tugboat schooner. It's basically the fucking Titanic in comparison.
No. Tugboats are very small.
Yes.
The ship you guys are next to is smaller than Titanic, and you're bigger than a tugboat.
But the Wheels of Power is still
Smaller, yes.
yes. Whereas
It's about a 10-foot difference between the top of your ship, and the promenade deck. It's not a huge difference, but it is one that you cannot see down onto the deck. Because remember, the Wheel of Power is 5 decks tall. It just so happens that the passenger cruise liner has bigger decks.
fair enough.
Yes, short version, you gotta climb your ass up there. 2 of the security guys are standing at the rope. They escort you over. You're there for like 10 minutes because there's just 2 blood spots. There's like a big one on the deck and a smaller one on the rail where like somebody would have had to hoist the body on top of and then tip them over.
Mm.
Oh, you have criminology, right, Keiran? Or am I right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll that.
Damn it. Oh no, good. I was reading Dr. Payne's failure of 56 there. It didn't immediately scroll to my success of 3.
All right. If you had to guess,
Mm-hmm.
you would think that now having this particular piece of information, along with everything Dr. Chen told you,
Uh-huh.
that somebody definitely tried to cover this up to make it look like an accident. They specifically threw this guy over the front of the ship, hoping he would hit and get dragged along the bottom, maybe get like hitched on the rudder or the propeller, and make it look like he got, basically completely fucked up by machinery, and then fell in somewhere.
Yeah.
Or fell in and got fucked up by some random debris that was, stuck to the bottom or something. Wasn't a great plan because it had near 0 success or chance of success. But welcome to criminals. They're not exactly the smartest people.
Here's a question. The pipes impaled into the body, they were hollow, right?
Well, yeah, because they're pipes.
Were they covered at the end?
No.
Right, because then that it does lend that a little bit more credence in terms of to weigh the body down.
Maybe.
And then it could just literally be the way that the body was sitting, basically trapped air in it, thus making the body float to a degree.
More than
Being
likely,
the
like
unintended side effect.
between like where he dropped or how the body got dropped and the currents, there's a decent chance that like the pipes got the body hooked on the side.
Yeah.
If Grover hadn't said anything, there actually is a decent chance that at some point the body would have like got rocked loose and nobody would have found it.
Mm.
Which is probably the main intent of, if I get rid of the body, but then it's like, well, why didn't I just throw it off the back? And now we're back to the
Yeah.
you're starting to.
There's also psychopathy doesn't necessarily think in straight lines.
Well, and I was getting to the point of like, now you're starting to think that maybe this was done in a panic or in an anxious state, and you don't exactly think straight under those conditions.
Why do it anyway? I mean,
well, that one you actually have to talk to the person.
And unfortunately, the person that we presently suspect is still missing. With their escort.
All criminology does is tell you the most likely intent behind a crime. It can't tell you why somebody would do a particular thing. That would be human, and you don't have enough information to roll that on this.
I also don't have enough human, period.
You don't have the info.
The big thing is like you don't have enough evidence to proc that roll.
Mm-hmm. But the other thing is that you said the death was 36 hours ago.
Yeah. And given the general temperature on the ship, it would have been decently preserved because the ambient air temperature around here, even during the day, only hits about 50.
Okay.
If that.
So it could still be reserved, but
where approximately are we anyway? Like, where are the ship globally?
Oh, so if you bring up a world map, because I don't have one ready to go on Foundry. That definitely says AMP and not map.
Gotta love it when you type when you get the right letters in the wrong order.
Yep.
How'd you do?
So, if you look on up to where the southernmost tip of Greenland is. Follow the western coast up until you get way, well, not way. You see that little like island thingy on western Greenland?
Are you talking about the island that's called Iceland?
No, that'd be east.
All right. Are you talking about that one that's Canada?
No. If you look at Greenland, there is a city. Oh God, I can't pronounce that. But there's like, you're basically you went past the Davis Strait and you are close to the Baffin Bay. It's super fucking cold because you are almost completely past the northern tip of Alaska at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like from where I am, right? You get into the water there, and I mean we're like halfway up Canada.
Yeah,
you're already in temperatures that will kill within inside, very quickly, and can actually preserve a body for quite a while.
Yeah, no, that's what I was looking this up.
We're even further up, so yes, it is not weird that the body would be in technically decent condition, spending approximately 36 hours.
The problem I'm having is that this was 36 hours ago. Who the hell left the ship to go find this guy, kill him, and come back.
Well, you know that the other team that's been missing has been missing for about 24, maybe a little longer.
But we know that this impalement was in 36 hours, right?
You know
Well-
that time of death was 36 hours.
All right, so
Yeah, the impalement seems to have happened not
post-mortem.
only post-mortem, but shortly before he was dragged off the edge of the ship.
Dr. Chen couldn't determine that.
Fair.
The death was 36 hours ago. Thrown overboard was, well, at this point it'd been closer to like 10, but was more recent. For clarity, the body was only in the water for about 6 hours. The ambient temperature on the ship, especially the lower decks where people aren't working and where there's not heaters, sits at rough between 40 and 50, depending on where the sun's at. And we'll get down to about 20 at night.
But why
So-
cover it up?
I don't know. You guys discuss that. I can't give you that information. I mean, I know why you did it.
Yeah, you're the one telling the story.
Exactly.
Well, see, here's the thing, right? Mr. Ski Mask, you need to now roll attacking the GM to determine the information. Because
I'm
then,
pretty-
character within the story.
You
Right.
automatically critically fail, and I strike you back with a critical success for 3,000 damage that is distributed among the rest of the PCs.
Sounds legit.
We
So
team
team 2 turns up.
Damn.
You tried to fight God. God said no.
Yeah. I mean, generally speaking, at the moment, because we don't really have anything to go with on this, right? And we're under the basis of there is a why, but it's also that kind of why that will make literally zero sense to any of us because we are not insane currently.
Yeah, pretty much.
Therefore, it's not going to make any sense to us, right? It doesn't matter
Sure about that.
how many times. Well, it doesn't matter how many times the guy tells us that the Jaguar God told him to kill Edward. It's not going to make any sense to us because we don't believe in the Jaguar God yet. The point is, the why doesn't really matter right now, other than clearly it was to get rid of the body. Now, whether that was because someone else was walking up and they thought, oh fuck, I better throw him off now, or that this is the way that it's supposed to happen because, you know, the giant flying spaghetti monster told them, right? It doesn't really matter.
as you do.
The fact is, it was done.
Hmm.
But we now know where they went in, and we can put this together with the timeline, work out like roughly where people were that we know about, and also gives us some idea of the movements.
I mean, if there's blood splatter there, theoretically there should be a trail of droplets of blood from where the body was being kept.
In
You'd
theory,
think so.
there should be.
Hence,
I
in
mean,
theory.
on looking, yeah. Well, I was going to say that on looking around the area, do I see any evidence that
No.
would suggest where it came from? Well, there
No.
goes that idea.
Because they were working toward the bow of the ship to transfer to the other side.
Hmm.
Basically, they were working back to front. Because that is the easiest side to transfer on, because they can stand there while the ship changes sides because it comes to a point,
Yeah.
so that there's eyes on them at all times.
And this is when you turn around and learn that the will to power has disappeared.
Oh no.
Oh, no, that's coming.
Yeah, that's later on when it gets super foggy and we start hearing leathery wings in the distance. So yeah, I will document the absolute fuck out of the place.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take long. There's not much there.
Yeah. I take all the pictures. There's lots of turning the camera 90 degrees and shouting, yes, baby.
Well, that gets you some strange looks.
Wow.
Certainly the
I have never understood like people that actually do that when they're doing like, you know, the fashion shoots. Like it's fucking weird.
The camera loves you, baby.
Yeah, it turns into that one scene from Austin Powers.
I'm spent. But yeah, you and the search party back to the ship, and Captain Ollie's like, all right, well, after a very, he rubs his throat, very long shouting match with Ross, we're not abandoning the mission. Well, expedition. And he has accurately pointed out for once, we're already here. We've done a lot of work to get this far. As far as I'm told by the engineering team, the engines will be up and running in the next couple days.
Mhm.
And through some genius work by our comms team, they've set up a wireless relay, or they think they can set up a wireless relay to the bridge Pride's Fall, so that effectively we can run the engines on very minimal power, enough to keep the propellers turning and be able to access the runners from here, so that we can effectively tug/guide the Pride's Fall. The propellers will basically be making it so we're not fully tugging it and we're not straining our engines.
That's good.
Also, it means we have to leave very few people aboard the Pride's Fall for our resident psychopath to do anything to. It also means we basically only have to leave people on the bridge, which, yes, I know there's a giant hole on the windows, we can deal with that. But the bridge is one of the most secure rooms on the boat, on the ship. So anybody that is there has a very good chance of defending themselves. Now, being said, I still want to search the ship, because if we can find Theodore, we can deal with him, neutralize him, and this whole endeavor becomes much easier.
Now, assume we humor our chief of medical, and there's another creature on board.
Yeah, if that crazy asshole is right, well, then what the fuck are we gonna do anyway?
Blow it to hell?
Yeah, no, you know what? For once, I like your plan.
What do you do with the big thing that you gotta fight? You shoot it. You blow it up. You bring it back as a trophy!
Oh, I don't know about that.
Suddenly, this is actually Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, the game where you win by shooting Dagon in the face. That's a howitzer.
I mean, you win every Call of Cthulhu game by shooting the big thing with a howitzer.
Which is really dumb.
Where's my fucking howitzer then?
Because the thing can't fuck with your mind if you blow it up.
It's such a dumb concept.
Can we have a howitzer then?
No. Well, I mean, if you go build one.
Okay, so now is
Alright,
when
there's
the
gonna be
80s
quite a few
montage-
engineering checks, but I'll get there eventually.
This is when the 80s montage music starts, and we get lots of dramatic zoom-ins on Grover's sweaty brows. He's welding the shit out of a homemade howitzer. He's remembering back to he's remembering back to his childhood when he made a potato cannon. He's like, "What's that? Just bigger, right?"
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what is a howitzer except a giant pipe that you put a big explosive bullet in?
So
Yeah,
what you're
then we
saying is
mount
we
it
go
on
into
the
the
front of
special
the
secret
ship.
stash of C4. Got it.
Oh, we mount it on the front of the ship, we turn it round, we race towards Cthulhu and shout, "Smile, you bitch," and we ram it in and then light the fuse. And then we all just doggy paddle home. It'll be fine.
And then freeze to death in the water.
Yeah, exactly. We're not in like minus 5 million degree water. It'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
Don't
Except
worry
more.
about it.
Listen, it's mind over matter.
Yeah.
But to end this particular session, we're actually going to be fast forwarding a couple of days. Not much happens. Basically, while the engines are being worked on, nobody is exploring the ship. There's only ever one controlled group on the ship at any given time now.
So at this point, it's one group at a time and multiple people guarding the ladder back onto the ship.
Yeah, pretty much.
You might be able to get through one of us, but you aren't getting through all these guns.
Basically, Grover, while you are working on the engines, there is probably, there are 3 security guards there with you at any given time. When the next engineering team takes over, you guys swap out. Everybody leaves. The second team shows up, then you guys go down.
Okay. Do the hallucinations continue or no?
Interesting. Yeah, you know what? Everybody go ahead and, do the corner check. Grover, go ahead and drop me 2 alertness checks.
Oh, that's not that good a sheet. That's a crew manifest.
Yeah, I think it's going to help you.
He somehow found the secret button.
Well, not for you. Who's this one down? Dr. Bacon, give me 2 alertness checks.
Oh, crap.
This is gonna be funny. So Dr. Bacon, there's a few times where you're working in the med bay because they really have no point to have you on the ship with this change in how they're doing the manpower.
Right.
You absolutely swear that over these couple of days that you look at Dr. Chen and his eyes change. They're no longer human eyes. They have that vertical slit like a lizard.
Oh, no.
And that his tongue becomes forked. His teeth elongate. At some point, you could swear. You absolutely swear the back of his coat sways as if there's a tail there.
Wait to start thinking your coworker's a snake.
Yeah, and I need you to go ahead and drop me 2 sanity rolls.
Yeah, that's not working out for me. Oh!
But then you're just like, wait, no, it's Dr. Chen. He's just a weird dude.
I mean, he is a snake, but not that kind of snake.
But while I'm sitting here working on it, Dr. May, you could also go ahead and drop 2 Constitution saves, or 2 Constitution checks. So saves in this game.
See if you get back up to full.
I was gonna drop a con save and actually do damage.
All right, so you'll heal 2.
Yay.
All right, who's the next one?
You're
down?
probably gonna need it.
I could use 3 more points.
Well, too bad. Keiran, your turn on the alertness. Any 2 of them.
Both failures.
All right. So there's a couple times where they do have you jump up on the ship or go on the ship while they're doing some of the exploring, just for documentation purposes, because you moved down to the promenade deck, which is the biggest deck. Oh, did we clear deck 4 yet? No, you're on the boat deck. No, they'd have brought you on the promenade deck, which is the biggest hangout for the passengers. So as you're going through, a few times that same thing happens where you fucking take a picture and you swear you see something there that isn't there, and it's different every time. At one point you're in a ballroom and you swear you just see bodies upon bodies upon bodies just littered everywhere, hanging from the ceiling, under tables, over tables, in various different states of decay and distress and different amounts of gore and all that other shit. And then there's another time where you take a picture, there's nothing there, you pull the camera down and Theodore is standing right in your face.
Ah!
Yeah.
Immediately fall on ass.
Yeah, and as you look up, it's gone. I need 2 sanity rolls from you.
Oh!
That's gonna fail.
Alright, so the Theodore one's the one that fucks you up. Go ahead and give me a
Okay.
D4, because it wasn't anything too bad. Slash R space.
Yeah. 1d4.
Hey, I'm back.
4.
You do lose 4 sanity, unfortunately.
Which
So
cut
what
you?
happened?
Ghostly Theodore scared me. I fell on my ass. So I'm taking 4 fell on ass cringe damage.
Yeah, it was only a D4 because it was like, just a jump scare, so it wasn't anything too bad. I honestly expected to roll like a 2, but here we are.
I mean,
The funny thing is, I actually really fucking hate jump scares in games because, I just really hate them. So, I mean, it's that thing when it starts falling into, like, the quote-unquote real life of this
I
fictional
don't like it.
Fair enough. You're taking
I'm not.
angry sanity damage, not scared sanity damage.
Yeah. So it falls on us like, oh my god, motherfucker! Mm.
Yeah, pretty much.
If I actually find this guy, I'm going to snap him like a twig.
Except my strength's only like an 8. But
Adrenaline is a hell
No,
of a drug.
no, my strength is a 10. Thank you very much.
I mean, sure.
Adrenaline and anger are a hell of a drug.
Your turn. Give me that alert.
I'm
Give me those
2
alerts.
away from snapping. Damn, you got a fail and a critical success.
You know what? Because of because these would happen on different days. All right, so the critical success is gonna net you nothing, just like the critical failure didn't impact Dr. Megan extra. But so with your failure, you are on one of the assigned to guard duty on one of the engineering teams at one point, and you're walking along the engine room, checking the ins and outs of the parts where people aren't working on, just in case anybody happens to be hiding around there.
As you do, yeah.
Yeah. And you swear, you absolutely swear at some point you see a man in a relatively nice suit, like 3-piece suit, lighting up a cigar. He finishes the cigar, takes a drag from it, looks at you and says, "You're gonna be fun eating."
Is he wearing white gloves?
And then in a now this is not a Fallout
Hockey-esque.
reference. No, this is not a Fallout reference.
Aw.
And then in a blink, he's gone. But normally you could wipe this off as just like, all right, you know what? Everybody's going through some traumatic shit. I've seen the work of cannibals in some of my missions. You can't shake the feeling that wasn't a hallucination, that guy was real, and that was a real threat.
Why the hell do all of Max's hallucinations, for whatever reason, have to deal with frickin' the ritualistic sacrifice shit?
Oh,
Because
no.
cannibalism is the answer.
I do need you to go ahead and drop me a sanity as you're thinking about it, and you're like, wait, no, I heard that lighter. I smelled that cigar. I saw that guy's shadow move. He did.
Oof.
Oh, that's bad, my dude.
Yes, it is.
I need you to lose 8.
And that puts me to 42, I believe.
Now, is
50
that your
minus
breaking
8?
point?
I would assume so.
All right, we are gonna pick up with your temporary insanity next session.
Yay!
Fuck, bro.
Yeah. Did you hit a breaking point?
Oh no.
I don't know!
Check on your character sheet. Go to the psychology thing. It will list your.
Yeah, breaking point 48.
All right, you did. We will deal with that next session, as Max is going to completely lose his shit.
Finally.
Oh yeah, no, I'm giving you anger,
Eh,
and there are exactly 5 people for you to take your anger out on.
Which fine.
Not it.
Not
Oh
it.
no other PCs are there.
Oh, right, he's
Oh.
on the ship.
Yep.
Well, the bad ship.
Oh.
You know what?
Oh,
You know what?
yeah.
You know what? For fun of it, Sawyer's there. He's on the engineering team.
Sawyer?
I thought he was
He's
medical
there
team.
in case anyone
no.
gets a boo-boo.
No,
No,
Kurt
No,
Sawyer.
Sawyer was engineering.
Oh.
They were fighting in the medical room.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, like, you don't
That
have
would
to
explain
be
the
chief of
confusion.
staff. You
Yeah.
don't have to be chief of staff to fight in the war room.
Don't kill Sawyer. That's just mean.
I know.
Course.
That's why he's there.
And if you do,
There's no
I
Wally there,
swear,
though.
Max,
No.
you will be dying
Damn.
next.
You think Wally is gonna be on guard duty? Come on.
I could have hoped.
I mean, you could. You would always be wrong, but you could.
But makes sense that the former spec ops would be the first
One
person to
that-
go completely insane properly. Actually, I think KK had the temporary insanity first.
And Karen.
Yeah, I did lock myself in a locker because fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Essentially.
You were trying to find the entrance to Narnia.
But yeah, I am saying you are going to do the temporary insanity where you lash out at everything because I think it makes sense for Max.
It does. Yes.
So we fade out on the camera doing a dramatic pan down to Max flicking the safety off on his MG.
Yeah, and I need Badger to think about whether or not when Max loses his shit, does he take the mask off?
Unmasking.
Unmasking too.
He's gotta break the masquerade.
Oh my!
I'll break your masquerade in a minute.
Heyo.
I mean, all you got to do is like, I don't know, do some crazy vampiric shit out in the middle of the street.
This is KarsaKKWx. Karsa's my name. KKWX is my empire. Here today with my friends from NRT as we were playing some Faults of Man, and Max is gone nuts. We'll find out how nuts next time. Good.
Next episode title: Gone Crazy. Back at 5.
No TV and no beer makes Max something.
Go crazy. Don't
Don't
mind
mind
if
if I
I do.
Yeah.